All right, everyone. Peace and greetings. Peace and greetings. We just listened to Thriller by Michael Jackson, and then we listened to The Mooch by Duke Ellington. And joining us here, like I said, you guys, live in the forum tonight, Brother Bobby Hemmitt is on the phone with us here. Greetings to you, Brother Bobby.
Yes, greetings. I'm telling you. And
it took a minute, but we got you here.
Right, so we opened with Thriller, and then I suggested The Mooch, because whenever we play that song, Baron Samedi and those comes out, and so you know we call it the Baron song,
Right.
And what happened was this was taken from the Cotton Club soundtrack. Cotton Club came out in 1984 with Richard Gere, and Richard Gere and I can't think of the other person, the black person. I know Larry Fishburne was one of his early appearances, and the other guy, the tap dancer guy that died, I can't think his name right. Gregory Hines.
Gregory Hines.
Yeah, and Lonette McKee was in it too. And so, in so many words, it's very special because the simple fact was, I can't think of the guy who orchestrated that one, but what he did was, this was 10 years after Duke Ellington made the transition. He made the transition in 1974. 10 years later, 1984, this movie comes out, and by this time, they had the digitally remastered type stuff, so when the orchestra played it and stuff, it just brought it to a whole nother level. But whenever we play it, the Barons, we call it the Baron Samedi song. It's called the Mooch. It's called the Mooch. So very key on this eve of Hallows Eve. And so we want to bring that energy in. And so we got a lot of good stuff to talk about tonight.
Yes, most definitely. Well, tonight, like you said, we're going to be talking about all of those things. Brother Bobby Hemmitt is joining us here. I did give the introduction, but for those of you who are listening right now, I'll go ahead and let you know. Again, tonight we're going to be we have about 3 hours. We'll do some Q&A a little later in the show, but first we're going to get into all of this energy, talk about Michael Jackson and some of the things that are going on that's significant here that Brother Bobby Hemmitt's going to speak on, as well as just the relevance of this particular energy that we're in and the ancestors and their destiny.
Mm-hmm.
Ready whenever you are, Brother Bobby.
Okay. Well, first of all, I want to recap on some things that's happened to me in the last couple of months. I started Ramadan in June. Now, Ramadan is in June, and when I did it, it wasn't that I was purposely doing it. It's just that I couldn't eat anything until after sundown. And so that was June, July, then August came, which was Ramadan. And I kept on, but in August, but what happened was I started getting all this mucus, and I couldn't get rid of it, and it was all the way in August. So what had happened was I had entered into a angelic realm. See, everybody's on their own initiation. Everybody out here is doing a part of their own initiation, whether you know it or not. There's a reason why you turn conscious and other people aren't, and that's because you are the ones that's initiating to become with the gods and become those gods or those angelic forces. We're going to get into that. So now, in my case, I entered into this angelic God realm. Some call them gods, some call them angels, the Netaru or what have you. I entered into this realm. And as a result, there was no meat on this realm. So that means that I had to go back to being a vegetarian, which I was in the 90s. And, and then I happily got off it and had a good 12 good years, you see, in gluttony. Right. And, I worshiped the lobster and all of that good old stuff. And so what happened was I had to get off the meat. This was in August, and then I had to go on a 3-week fast, juice fast for 3 weeks, and lost about 50 pounds. And I was going to take the fast all the way to my birthday, which is November the 28th, because I'm going to be turning 50. And that's called the 50 Gates of Understanding on Kabbalah. Yep. And the 50 Gates of Understanding. And also, the 50 years is also connected to the Star Series. So a whole lot of stuff on the Sacred 50. So what happened was, I was going to take it to my birthday, because the thing about a fast here is, you cannot eat, but you can't not drink. So you can go without food, you just can't go without liquids.
Right.
And stuff like that. So the fast, I was going to do the fast, Dr. Faber would have him go on a 40-day fast. Well, the fast was, I was going to try to stretch it all over my birthday, but I started losing all my ass. My ass started caving in on me and shit, so I had to start back eating, because shit, I lost all my damn ass and stuff and all. So, so as a result, I had to break the fast. But then again, I'm still a vegan. You see what I'm saying? Right. I'm still a vegan and stuff. And so what happened was, so the cough went away, the mucus went away, and what it is those particular dimensions, you don't supposed to be eating anything when you get on that dimension. Now, I'm not trying to tell anybody to follow this path. I'm talking about what's unique to me. Because I'm in there with these particular angelic hosts. So after a while, you don't supposed to be eating anything. So as a result of the colon getting any type of food, the mucus will come, because it's going against the grain of that realm. So in so many words, the funny part about it, I knew I was in a realm because my appetite went in May. My appetite went in May, and I had a low appetite all year long. So what it was is I knew I was going to this particular realm, and so. But as a result, man, shoot. Once I went on that fast, it was almost like I thought that I felt the same as 19 all my life, because I never really had any pain. But I didn't know until after I went on the fast and got off the meat that, man, I really feel like I'm 19 now and stuff like that. So that's one of the realms that that I've been going through and all, because like I said, and basically what they wanted to do, they said, well, you've been lucky. You ain't never had any aches and pains all your life. But now you're going towards 50. And so as a result, you see, you've been pretty lucky. So as a result, you're going into that particular realm, and you've been successful with it. So as a result, I had to because there is no meat or nothing with a face in that realm as far as animals or any type of stuff like that. And so as a result, I had to do that. So that's what I've been going through. That's what I've been going through. So it's a couple of things we want to make mention before we get into this thing. We want to make mention of some stuff. First of all, I want to say some things here that we need to get to the bottom of, as far as why we've been catching all this hell all these years for the past 300 and something years. And that is, when it comes to racism, we used to know that the Europeans used to worship us. You see, they used to worship us and all, you see. So what happened was, what we have been going through as far as the racism is a design for a society done by secret societies. So in so many words, and I learned about this when I was in Dr. Ben's mystery system. I was in Dr. Ben's mystery system, so what we had to do is we still had to go through the same degrees as the regular Prince Hall black Masons. And then, but also while we was doing that, we was putting back all of the Neteru and the Egyptian concepts. And so it was basically a workshop where we all brought something to the table. Now, one thing happened when we first crossed over, and this mystery system used to talk about this. They say when the European mystery system, because the Europeans, what they would do when they would cross over, the initiates would cross over and get their first degrees. What they would do at night is they would bring a black man into the lodge, blindfolded. And I don't know if they get him off the street or whatever they do. They would just bring a black man in the lodge, blindfolded, and they would say, "This is your father. Always hold him down. Always keep him down." So this is a mandate of the Masonic orders, the European Masonic orders. And for some reason, and I think it had something to do with, because all this stuff was designed by the Moors as far as bringing them into the Masonic aspect. Because we know that the Moors also started the Knights Templar and different things like that. So as a result, for some reason, they declared us the enemy. Now, the regular European or the regular person, especially in this country, that is not a part of a Masonic order, what has been happening to them is they have been given racist concepts about us and being made to think that they're their own. So when you had the whole the racist South, you had all these major events. There was always some people behind the scenes that was pulling the strings. So in so many words, we know even the Ku Klux Klan was founded by, what's the guy's name? The Anti-Defamation League, as well as Albert Pike. And the Albert Pike used to be a Confederate general, you see, a Confederate general. And so, so there's always been this secret society. And what they would do here is that they would give the general white people in the society these racist views, which they wouldn't actually have if it wasn't for somebody pulling the strings. And I take, for instance, that's why when people would go up north and say, man, it's just this racist up north.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? So it means that there's always been some aspect that to keep us down by certain secret societies. And so they decreed us the enemy. So as a result, because why is that? Because they know ultimately that we're the original people, and the gods one day will rise. And for some reason, we would deem the enemy. You see, so even when you get Thomas Jefferson's notes on Virginia, and he decreed either we are going to have to send the Africans back to Africa, which they did part of that with the Liberia group, or we're going to have to exterminate them. And this was a white guy who so-called liked black people because he had that mistress, what's her name, Sally Hemmitt or something, all those years. But the point about it is what was who was he talking to when he was saying these notes on Virginia? Was he talking to the general public, or he was talking to the Masonic Brethren? And that's what the Masonic Brethren. So it has always been, so any of this racism, we just got to just put this aside because there's a certain amount of information that needs to be uncovered on how we find how things to be, why things are. You see, so into this particular stuff, it was a Masonic group and several Masonic groups that was behind this to keep this thing going. So even today, when we think of we think ourselves free and we think of all this, they're still designing institutional racism You see what I'm saying? Or even the design to pit us against each other by Masonic orders. You see, by Masonic orders. So
true.
So this has never been reviewed. We just think that white people are generally racist in the society. No, this is a society that was designed for a certain purpose, to keep us down by not even a Mason, but a secret society, the unseen hand. So we've been hearing all this stuff about the secret societies and the Illuminati and all these things for the last 20 years. They've been going into this stuff. But the one thing that they don't ever tell us is the other part about that. The basis of this is always hold the black man down. And so we have reports of black men being abducted once a year, couple of times a year, whatever, or whenever they have these large ceremonies. And they would actually hear, they would blindfold them, but they would actually hear them saying, "This is your father, always hold him down." And we learned this in the Dr. Ben's mystery system, when it was still going. You know, it defunct in 1994. I got in 1991. So I just wanted to clear that up because it goes to show how this stuff is still designed. So even when there are certain things that's designed to this day. You see what I'm saying? Now, it might not be the overt racism. You see what I'm saying? But it's almost like one of the decrees is to see us as the enemy. You see us as the enemy. You see what I'm saying? Like that now. And exploit us because we don't know the different information. So I just want to put that here because the thing about it is when we go into the Michael Jackson thing, we can find out what actually happened to him and what this thing is all about. What this thing is all about. So and it's interesting here because and it's certain things that they know about us. Like take for instance and what we're going to get into is based on this destiny of where's our destiny. It's one thing to go into just tons and tons of information, which I've been doing for the last 19 years, because it'll be 20 years on June the 27th. We were 20th anniversary when I first started speaking. So I've been lecturing for 19 years, 19 and a half years. So, so as a result, there's certain things that we have to lay down just to tie up some stuff, just like this whole Troy Davis thing. Now, Troy Davis was the guy that they executed. But it's ironic that they executed him and they executed the same white boy that drove the guy down the street in Texas.
In Texas, yes.
Whatever this guy, they executed him on the same day. So this is some kind of ritual that was going on. And they also executed Troy Davis on the the fall equinox.
Yeah.
You see, on the fall equinox. You see. So it's just interesting how these things go. But what we did do is the Spirit told us to just get up and start playing some music and to usher him in to this other realm, which when we replied back and when we tried to get back, he was like, man, this is great. If I'd have known this, I would have done this years ago. So in so many words, they helped Troy Davis because what are you going to do? Spend the rest of his life in a prison? You see what I'm saying? So he's free, and that's the problem. Is we are scared of death, and because of this society, the ancient Egyptians used to teach on death from the time you was born. So everybody would look forward to those days when we make the transition. You see, and so the Western man, you see what I'm saying? A lot of this science broke down, and he had these fears on death, which ancient cultures didn't. Ancient cultures didn't. So now it's interesting here because Jeb Bush all of a sudden came out and told the people, the people that's running for president, for the Republican primary, told them to just stick to the issues and quit attacking Obama. Stick to the issues and quit attacking Obama. Now, one of the reasons why was this. Number one, he made this decision after the Washington Monument, when they had the earthquake, and the Washington Monument cracked and got damaged. So they automatically thought that maybe this was some kind of thing where they were upsetting black people. You see, upset black people. Or it can be also he made that decision because they talking about his family member. Because remember, everybody that sits in that chair has to be related to the Queen of England.
That's right.
And stuff. So it might be some stuff like that. It could be the family member stuff. But it's just interesting here. But why did he say this right after the earthquake?
Right.
You see, right after the earthquake and stuff. And then the Washington Monument was cracked. And it's interesting here because there was a show on called The Event that they took off. And in the event, the so-called aliens tore down the Washington Monument in May of this year, before the show went off. And then all of a sudden, it happened in reality. Mm-hmm. You see, now, if you know anything about rituals, you can make certain things happen physically with a certain idea and a certain intent and a certain aim. So it can be a combination of things that was actually going on. But the thing about it is what I said here about the Troy Davis thing is he is doing well in the hereafter, and that's a good part. That's a very good part. Now another thing I want to talk about here to give the warning, and this is the warning because we have to give this warning. Because I've been talking about this about a year, but I'm going to break this thing down. I want to give the warning to the people that CNN came on TV sometime this summer and said that they were going after, the NYPD was going after the Moroccans. Now, Moroccans, wait a minute, that's like saying, okay, the LAPD is going after the Mexicans. The Morocco, the ones that the Moroccans that they talk about that live in New York is a race of Arabs. But they were not talking about that. See, they're talking in code. What they were really saying was we're going after the Moors, the Moorish Science Temple, or the Moors, the black Moors in America. You see, now why did they say the Moroccans? Why do they say the Moroccans? Because the Moors, over the couple of years, a lot of Moors signed up with the Moroccan Treaty.
Yeah.
With the Moroccan Treaty. So that's that whole nationality thing they was on. And so when they say the Moroccans, they can add the Moors in this country because a lot of them have signed up with the Moroccan Treaty. You see what I'm saying? So now this is the key to this whole thing. Because I talked about this before. There was a white group that the United States government put together called Revolution Muslim. And they would stand up in Times Square, just like the Hebrew Israelites used to do, and they would speak about all kinds of they would speak about all kinds of jihad and talk about all this type stuff and all this terrorist stuff. So as a result, the government finally got after them, you see. And one of the guys fled to where? Morocco. Fled to Morocco. Now, it's interesting here because the guy that was from America that was the head of so-called the number one in place of Al-Qaeda, they just got killed about a month ago. And stuff like that. That whole thing is tied in. But the key here is it's tied in with the Moors. Now remember this. After 9/11, which was September 11th, 2001, around Thanksgiving of the same year, the Atlanta Journal and Constitution ran an entire article on the historical Moors. On the historical Moors. That is to get people to get people make this information privy to people who didn't know who the historical Moors was. But it's ironic that it ran right after 9/11. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
So this is to acclimate people into this type of into this type of thing that they want to do. As far as next up on the line is these Moors, this sting operation. It's not by mistake that most of the terrorists that they caught in this so-called country, the shoe bomber, the guy, the underwear bomber, were black people. You see. So what I'm trying to tell people here is to warn is all that nationality stuff. You see what I'm saying? That's nothing but something that is set up by the government, by the United States government, to take down the Moors. Now, we've been a part of this nationality thing as far as it was introduced to us back in 1993 by the Empress Vertice. And so in Atlanta, we were some of the first people to be made privy to this particular thing as far as all this right way law and all this type of stuff, you know, and UCC and all of this type of thing. So what happened was, one of the guys, and it's interesting here, one of the guys went to one of the meetings down in Alabama. And when he's in Alabama, Mississippi. And when he got to the meetings, he was in the meetings with a bunch of Klansmen and a bunch of militia. Remember, we had a white militia that was real big in the 90s? But after Timothy McVeigh blew up the building in Oklahoma, a lot of them went underground and a lot of them left. But at that particular time, before the building got blew up in Oklahoma, a lot of the Moors had gone down to Mississippi in these meetings when they was trying to tell the people on how to, with this nationality thing. You see, and all this type of stuff and all. So my point here was, is this whole thing was a government design to get you to sign up and to get you to sign up and to get you to take us down. So remember this type of thing. If we talk about some Masonic things here, remember now that thing is also, they say always hold us down. So this is always a part of something. So in that, let me get into what we're talking about this Michael Jackson thing. Okay. The Michael Jackson, they got this trial going on now with this guy. You see what I'm saying? Now, the key here is whatever the deal here is, it went down. The key here is Michael Jackson was killed from propofol, or whatever this thing here is, and he was taking Demerol and all this type of thing. But the main thing is Michael Jackson was not able to sleep.
Right.
Okay? Michael Jackson was not able to sleep. Now, this could also be a secret society thing or what have you that was in cahoots with the doctors when Michael Jackson decided that he wanted to strip all of his melanin off and bleach his skin. Now, anybody knows anything about melanin, that if you get chemical peels, or if you get any kind of damage, if you have melanin, two things happen. If you get a cut, it's going to kilo it. Now, remember, Michael Jackson and him was from a real dark-skinned family. Okay? And so you get a cut or a scrape, it'll kilo it. That's one thing of melanin. Other thing about melanin is this. If you get a scrape and the skin becomes white, whenever it heals, you'll get a darker scar than you had before. It gets darker. Okay?
Right.
So the key here is working with these mad scientists and Michael Jackson. They just took advantage of him in his black inferiority. You see, black self-hatred. So what happened was, when he decided to do this with the chemical peel, how was he able to stay white? Because anybody know that when black people used to bleach their skin with all that archery, and then they had the ambi, you got to keep bleaching yourself, because once that melanin kicks in, you can become blacker than what you were before you started bleaching. So the way melanin works, it doubles up. So the point I'm trying to make here is, when Michael Jackson decided that he wanted the chemical peel, in order to keep his skin white, they had to tamper with the melanin genetically. And in some kind of way, they used Michael Jackson. First of all, they said, we doctors are going to make the first black man white. You see. And they used Michael Jackson to do it, and Michael Jackson stayed white until the day he died. Now, the key here was, in order to do this with the chemical peel, if Michael Jackson would have just gotten a chemical peel and they didn't genetically alter his melanin with experiments. Remember now, they've been working with melanin since the 1950s. You see, since the 1950s. They actually learned a lot about the melanin in World War II. You see what I'm saying, with the Nazis and all. Because a lot of because remember now, a lot of the scientists and stuff that was able to escape was bailed out by American secret societies and stuff like that. So they've been dealing with the melanin since the 1940s, 1950s. They've learned how to isolate it and do all this type of stuff on into the 60s. You see what I'm saying? So the point I'm trying to make here is, by the time Michael Jackson came around, they had almost 50 years of being scientists and experimenting with melanin. So what happened was, in order to keep Michael Jackson white, they had to wipe out some stuff on a genetic level, or on some type of experimental level. They had to tamper with his melanin. Now, as a result, otherwise Michael Jackson would have became back blacker than what he was. Right. You see, now, as a result of that, this is what happened. What is melanin? Melanin is also a form of sleep. That's why they introduced melatonin tablets as an alternative sleep aid to the Europeans in the 90s. And they had this whole melanin craze. And they found out that melanin is a nighttime hormone. They call it the Dracula particle. It's a nighttime hormone. So what happened was, when you go in the dark, melanin starts to manifest. You see, secrete. And so as a result, melanin is secreted it's also through the central nervous system, but it's also secreted through the pineal gland. So whatever they had to do, it might have been some pineal experiments, all types of stuff like that. But what melanin is, form of melanin is the miracle cure of everything in the universe. But one thing that melanin is, it is sleep. Which, by them tampering with Michael Jackson and whatever experiments, I don't know, they tampered with his sleep. Yeah. You see, in order for him to stay white. You see, even to the point where, one thing about sleep, if you just get in the dark long enough, you will fall asleep. And so as a result of the late 90s, in the early 2000s, they was trying to tell people in the major cities, they told people that they need to cut off the lights on the skyscrapers downtown, people who lived in major cities, because people was having a problem sleeping because it was too lit up. You see, especially the people that stayed close to the downtown areas and all, you know. So, because people was having problems sleeping. You see, so as a result, Michael Jackson, they messed with his sleep by tampering with the melanin. And so as a result, number one, they said his entire central nervous system was completely destroyed. You see, it stopped producing hair. Michael Jackson only had 2 braids, and he was bald-headed, and they would weave a wig in. They put a weave on it. and stuff like that. So his entire central nervous system was completely shot. But one of the things here is what killed him was he was not able to sleep. Why? Because he had no melanin. Or he had no function of the melanin. You see what I'm saying? But the simple fact here is it wasn't just like a bunch of people bleaching their skin. You know, they got, they'll have hair weaves on billboards here or whatever kind of black product. But in Africa, all you see all over Africa is the bleaching cream being advertised in Africa. Mm-hmm. And that's real big. But the point about it is you got to keep bleaching yourself or you get darker than what you would have been before you even started bleaching. So as a result, what they had to do with this chemical peel was they had to actually tamper with the inner aspect of the melanin in the central nervous system or the pineal gland and all this type of stuff. As a result, it damaged his sleep. It damaged his whole central nervous system. And as a result, he had to resort to the whole thing with the propofol and all of this where they got to administer sleep that they do when people are getting operations in hospitals. So he had to, in so many words, it had to go to a certain dangerous level. But one of the keys is this. One of the keys is this. When Michael Jackson decided to do this with this chemical peel, it probably had scientists, secret society people, and all types of people, you see what I'm saying, in the medical community that went in on this thing, on this grand experiment. And as a result, they were the ones who initially killed him. But the simple fact here was he could not sleep because they tampered with his melanin. And so recently they got all this stuff going on with the trial. But recently he came through and said, now you need to tell the real deal on what really went down on why I couldn't sleep. You see what I'm saying? Why I couldn't sleep and stuff like that. Now, so it's just very interesting on that particular part, but I thought it was fitting that we should do this because of him making this grand song, Thriller. And anytime you want to invoke the spirits, you play Thriller. You see? And so, and by this being Halloween, and tomorrow is the day when we come closest to the ancestral realm. Yeah. And you see, so he came through, and I took it upon myself to give this thing about this melanin experiments, but it also teaches us a lesson in melanin. You see what I'm saying? Teaches us a lesson in melanin. Now, this is an interesting thing, because I think I talked about this the last year, that my Queen Linda back, I don't know when it was either in the 90s, I think it was in the 90s, she went to a party, and the party was packed full of people. And her and her friend went outside for a minute and was talking outside. When they came back in, there wasn't no more than 2 or 3 people in the whole party. And they were outside. There was no back door. They didn't see people leave. So what was this about? They didn't see people leave. So what it was, they were actually partying, because it was a Halloween party. They were actually partying with the ancestors. Now, this might be a reason why they tell you a lot of people go to parties on Halloween dressed up in costumes. Right. Is because one of the major mysteries is maybe that they don't want you to know that those ancestors come back, and a lot of times you see people in those costumes, they actually be spirits. Yeah. You see, but remember now, science doesn't want you to believe that there's a spiritual world. You see, there's a spiritual world. They'll even deal with moralism in religion than they will actually deal with spiritual aspect. And I've heard Christians say that the dead know not what the living do. I'm like, no, you got that wrong. Yeah, the living know not what the dead does. You see, what the dead does. So the point is, we're talking about some of these costume parties is to hide the fact that what would you do if you up in a party and your grandmama show up and want to party a little bit and take a little sip of some cognac or some Hennessy? You see what I'm saying?
Right.
You see, so, but now why am I saying that? Why am I saying that? Because the closer we get to this realm, and you can even say the 2012 thing, it's a 2012 cycle or a 2012 season, and we've been in it. I think we've been in it 2012 since 2001. That was the reason why they blew the building up in 2001, the World Trade Center. You understand? Right. Other than doing it now. You see, the point I'm trying to make, as we get closer into these particular realms, what is happening here is, one of these days of the dead, people going to show up and ain't going to leave. Or people going to disappear.
Yes. Well, I think it was earlier this year, Brother Bobby, that the CDC announced its plans, and actually it's on their website, it's on the government website, that what it would do if there was an outbreak in zombies. And that's on the show, they actually put it out, and people thought it was a joke, but the CDC said no, they were experimenting with some things, and they needed to let people know in case there was a zombie outbreak. You guys may have remembered when
That's right. Now, check this out. You are right. Not only that, the History Channel just put a new series out that started last week on the history of zombies. Yeah. And it's an entire series that they're going to do of certain segments of it. You see what I'm saying? Now, it's interesting here because they also put out this thing called Planet Egypt they did for 2 weeks and did all this Egyptian stuff, but just so happened to leave out the fact that they were black people because they didn't show nobody black in the whole history of Egypt. You see what I'm saying? So they're funny when it comes to that whole thing. They can't get past that. But you are right about this thing here because there's some stuff that's actually happening because it's also in a text. It's also in the text. It's in the text of the descent of Ishtar. Ishtar's descent. Let me see if I can find the name of the book. Like I said, I go in this room. If I don't get them off the stack, you see, it's thousands and thousands of books, and so I was just trying to see because I located, I think it's something Tales from Mesopotamia. But the only thing you have to do is go on the internet and just type in Ishtar's descent. And Ishtar tells she's trying to go to the underworld. And she says, let me in. Let me into the underworld. I think because what it is she's trying to go. The story is the older one was Inanna's descent. And Inanna's husband is fallen into the underworld, almost like the whole Isis and Osiris thing. And as a result, Ishtar, it's later Ishtar, but earlier it was Inanna. So you can just put Inanna's descent or Ishtar's descent. But I think the one that's made mention is in Ishtar's descent. And so she goes in and says, listen, open up the underworld for me. I need to get in, basically to see her husband, to try to bring him back and whatever. So what happens here is she makes this claim. Now, this is the goddess. This is nothing but a Mesopotamian form of Isis. And so she makes this form. She says, let me in, or I will rip the bolts off of the doors of the underworld, and the dead will walk the earth again and will outnumber the living. You see, outnumber the living. Yeah. You see, so we're really getting into some stuff, and that's why this whole ancestral thing we talk about tonight is very important, because the simple fact here is we've now made contact with the ancestors on the other side, and that is the destiny. I talked about it in the Baltimore lecture, and I'm going to go through this tonight here, because that's what we're talking about, making this contact with the ancestors on the other side. So let me give you some other stuff that's actually happening. You all right?
All right.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Now, what you need to do is limit the amount of soy products, because soy now It's in everything. It's in toothpaste, chewing gum, all your bread, all your cakes. Everything has soy lecithin in it or soybean oil. Now, soy is a product that what happens here is you can't just not eat because it's in everything. We just have to, you got to start reading the labels.
Right.
And limit your intake. Because what soy does, they have already called it, they call it a carcinogen. Just like last time we talked, I think, they made the cell phone a carcinogen. Now, anybody know what a carcinogen is? It means it causes cancer.
Yeah.
Well, soy, come to find out, it causes a brain cancer. Or the reason why they are putting soy in everything is because they're trying to attack the pineal gland. You see, they're trying to attack the pineal gland. So you're going to have to limit the amount of soy. The amount of soy because it's a carcinogen, but it causes a brain cancer. You see, it causes a brain cancer. You see what I'm saying? So this is very key on how this thing is going down. Now, let me give you some other information. Now, like I said, okay, let me give my little infomercial right quick. We have the picture packet. If you don't have that, it's an amazing thing. It's up to close to 70 pictures. We have and so it was interesting here. The guards would show up and say, "No, you need to put me in the package." Put me in the package. So the last one to show up was one called Nega Kanya, Kanya, Nega Kanya, Nega Kanya. We're going to be going. We're going to be dealing with the Nagars in New York on the 12th. So we're going to be dealing with the Nagars. It's very key. But right now, to prepare yourself, you need to rent a movie called Hiss. Hiss is a movie on the Nagars. And it's about this movie. It's a white guy goes to India. He goes to India, and he finds two serpents mating, cobras. He takes the male cobra, and once he takes the male cobra, it will force the female cobra to turn into a human to go look for her mate. Once he can get the female cobra, and she has a pearl within her that is for immortality. Now, this story, this serpent, torturous serpent, this ravenous serpent with the pearl, or the serpent that has the Holy Grail, ultimately they're talking about is the pineal gland and melanin and that whole thing. And the serpent is the kundalini. So it's a metaphysical story. But it's a movie called Hiss, and it's out now. We're going to be dealing with the Nagars, but there was a picture of a Nagar that showed up called Nega Kanya. And so she showed up and immediately got into the picture packet. So for the people, so we got picture packets. We have the third eye mirror. We have the third eye mirror that and so we have the third eye mirror. We still have the stimulus packages and stuff like that because this is what Michael Moore said. This is why it's key for the people who don't have the stimulus package to get it.
Right.
Why? Because number one, this angelic force is real powerful. That's that realm I entered into and had to get off the meat. Now, I don't suggest you do that and stuff. And not, if you have not been a vegetarian, you do that on your own time. That's not what I'm talking about here. I was just telling you my experience on what I am. So, there's a stimulus package. The stimulus package, you're going to really need that soon because this is what's happening. Michael Moore was on Piers Morgan. I think he was on Piers Morgan. Piers Morgan, the new British guy that took Larry King's spot on CNN. And they had something like a town meeting. And he was talking. And so the white people are complaining that they can't get the banks now, after they got bailed out, they're holding on to the money. They're not giving out loans. I say, well, welcome, white people. Welcome to the party. Because they ain't never gave us out no damn loans. You see, they when I first got to Atlanta, they was taking up each year, each Sunday, the churches were taking up $10 million You said every Sunday the churches would take up $10 million. Now, if anybody ever been here and stuff, there's a church literally on each corner. You see, on each corner, damn near. So they was taking up, so and this is just the black churches. And so that was in 1986. They was taking up $10 million, and they was amongst these churches. They would put this money in the banks on Monday morning, and on Tuesday, a black person come and couldn't get no goddamn loans. You see what I'm saying? Now, if they were taking up $10 million in when I first came in 1986, when I first came to Atlanta, when I first moved here, what do you think they now doing? They're now up to maybe $50 million with all this prosperity stuff and T.D. Jakes and you know, and Creflo Dollar and all them. So if they were taking up $10 million 26 years ago, what you think they're now taking in and can't get loans from banks? So now all of a sudden the white folks are hurting because they can't get loans because the banks are holding on to it. And this is what Michael Moore said. Michael Moore said they're scared. They're holding on to the money. He said they're waiting for the other shoe to drop, which means you had that meltdown in 08 and that whole recession thing. They say they're going to have a double dip on that shit and the other shoe going to drop, and they're holding on to the money. You see what I'm saying? Because they're waiting for the other shoe to drop. You see? So you're going to need these spiritual checks so that these spirits can provide for you. Now, and you see what I'm saying? So this is the reason why the angelic host came with this. Now, so you got the stimulus package. We got the DVDs. You're going to need that black mirror because that black mirror is key for the 2012. You see? And everything with the pineal gland and stuff like that. So you need to get these particular products. Now, it's interesting here. I got some other things that I'm getting ready to do so we can really get some money. Now, check this out. I got these other things, these angelic seals. The angelic seals. Now, the first angelic seal, so you can start inquiring about this very soon when you call 678-358-1055. 678-358-1055. Now, we got these angelic seals. We got a Kabbalah money seal created to swiftly banish all monetary and financial worries. Its ownership bestows the angelic gift of true financial security. We're going to have that for you. We also have a secret Kabbalistic good fortune talisman because we all need some damn good luck, you see. And this particular one is without a doubt the most potent, highly successful good luck and fortune seal of all times. Its ownership guarantees a lifetime of good fortune, well-being, pleasure, and true prosperity. Okay, the other one is a protection amulet, or protection seal. It's the most powerful seal in the world on protection. So we got 1, 2, 3, and the other one is a seal for the 7 angels. Invite the 7 angels to aid with the traditional talisman for the 7 angels. Now, why I'm talking about these angels? Because what I'm going to get into tonight is going to bring this stuff around. So that's, call and inquire. It's going to be 4 of these seals on 11 by 17. And you call for 678-358-1055. Get these particular products and stuff like that. And stuff like that. Now, let me explain why we do this. See, first of all, and I talked about this, Smallville was a show that came on. It aired right after 9/11, and it was about the lifetime of Superman growing up in a small town. So it ran for 10 years, and this spring was the last show. The last show aired this spring for 10 years. And he grew into a man on the show. Now, it's interesting here because one of the shows, Lois Lane went to an Egyptian exhibit, and she took this amulet of Isis so she could study it and report on it. She borrowed it, so because she could report on it in the paper. When she took the amulet, Isis came through, Aset came through, and possessed her. Aset went back into the museum and was trying to find a sarcophagus with the ashes of Osiris. And she was going to do this ritual, and so she used Superman, Clark Kent at the time, and to do a ritual to bestow and to turn Clark Kent into Osiris. Of course, they stopped the ritual or whatever type thing. No, they already did the doggone ritual. But let me tell you what the deal is. So let me tell you what's up. That's in the last thing. I got all 9 episodes. I'm waiting for the 10th box set to come out. And it's coming out one day after my birthday. On November the 29th. But on November the 29th. But now check this out. Come to find out that the people who put Superman together in the 1930s, they got a channel, and the S on his chest was really meant for Sirius, the star Sirius. But what happened was they named it Superman because they got another channel to name it Superman because at that particular time, Sirius is very important to all Masonic lodges. Not the Black Lodge. That's just some like I say, drinking liquor and driving cab. That's all that is, a little, Black Buffalo Lodge. But I'm talking about these white Masons. They got a star in every lodge that represents the star Sirius. The star Sirius. And they have and so all of this stuff that they even got the Fox Theater here in Atlanta is built with Moorish architecture. And when you go into it, it was a Masonic lodge, and then I think in the 1970s they turned it into an auditorium where you go and see shows. But when you go to the shows in there, you will see a canopy of stars up in the ceiling, but they got one big star, that's the star Sirius. So the S stood for Sirius, but they said Superman at this particular time because I think they would have got in trouble with the Masonic people and stuff like that and all. But Sirius, and this is why they had to do this thing with Aset and Osiris, because what is Isis? Isis is called the soul of Sirius.
Yeah.
You see? Yeah. So they had to do this Superman thing to show you who the Superman was. And by doing the Syrians, they're talking about we're the Supermans. Well, let me go to some true stuff because this is what's happening now. Because we can talk about all of this knowledge, but sooner or later this knowledge has to start applying to us, and we got to start turning into something. Well, let me give you some good news. Let me give you some good news. Now, I can talk about my ordeals all day long. Okay. But let me give you some good news. There's a brother named Clemson Brown. Clemson Brown, he owns TAP Productions, Transatlantic Productions. He was the guy that filmed all of the great scholars, Dr. Ben, John Henry Clark, everybody. He filmed, if you did speaking either in the historical or the metaphysical, Clemson Brown had you. Okay, so now, this is what happened. Clemson Brown, I think about a month ago, Robert Bouval had came to, because the brother Shabazz had brought him in. And so Clemson Brown was doing the filming. And Clemson Brown got up and said, I'm glad to have this brother Shabazz and all them because I know they got my back. And then he was driving down the street, a couple of days later, and he went and he had to go to the hospital, and he had a brain hemorrhage.
Yeah,
Okay, so now check this shit out. Last week, that's about 3 weeks ago or a month ago. So last week, Shabazz called me and said, hey, guess what? Clemson Brown is back in the hospital. And he said, check this out. He said, they got an artery to the brain that oxygenates the brain. And this artery, they said the artery in his brain had quit working some years ago. They said, because if you don't get no oxygen to the brain, you die. This artery was blocked and was quit working years ago. Now check this out. The woman told him, the doctor told him, that we'll see another circle, because this thing comes from your heart to the brain. She said, on the other side of where this artery was, on the completely other side, your heart and brain has built a new circulatory system to bring oxygen to the brain, because this other artery had been blocked for some years. So what had happened was with him, miraculously, is his heart and his brain made him another set of arteries and a whole circulatory system. Now,
beautiful.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Hello?
Yes.
Okay, so check this out. So she said, now this is when she started. Now, so what they have to do, they can't start telling you it's a miracle or miraculous, because then you say, well, I don't need these pharmaceutical shit. And the pharmaceutical runs the industry. They don't even teach, doctors, they don't even teach nutrition in medical school. So what happened was, they don't want you to know that you have the ability to heal yourself. So what happened was his godlike qualities kicked in, because he's a god, just like we all are. So what happened was they built him a new circulatory system, and the woman said, oh yeah, well, sometimes your body has backup. He called me on the phone. She said sometimes your body has a backup system. All the damn people die with strokes. I said, that's some bullshit. I said, they gotta try to explain this thing away, because they know this is some God shit, and they studying him now. You see what I'm saying? So my point here is, I've been talking about the DNA changing for years. This nigga brain done built him a new circulatory system. You see? This is some amazing stuff. So what I want you to do for Halloween, for the people for protection, I want you to get these amulets and stuff, these pictures. It's 4 of them in a set. Now, but for right now, I want you to go out to Party City. I think they got party cities in each town. You need to go to Party City, because after tomorrow, all the Halloween stuff goes on sale, damn near 50%. So you need to go to Party City, and you need to buy you some gargoyles. You got to get you 2 gargoyles. You see, they're about maybe 12 inches high. About a foot, maybe a little over a foot. And you need to take those for those people that live in houses and put you 2 gargoyles in front of your house. If you ever ride by white people's house, they got gargoyles. Now, the reason why you want to do that is, a guy this brother that worked at the post office I go to, he was like, no, man, some brothers broke in my house. And it's a new house. He said they took my big screen TV and all this kind of stuff here. And I wanted to tell him, because I don't know what level of consciousness, because if I tell a person ain't condemning, this nigga crazy. And I wanted to tell him, you need to go and get you some gargoyles, because they sell them during Halloween.
They sure do.
And so and so what you got to do is you get you some gargoyles, or otherwise you're going to have to go to Lowe's. Lowe's sell them, they about $40, $50 and stuff or more. You can get some anyway, but right now you can get those for like $12. The gargoyles. Now, what you want to do is put them in front of your house. So what happens with this is this. The gargoyles, see, our earth, before this earth was made into what it was now, we had several other realms of several other spirits that used to rule in a primordial world that was in existence as long as this world has been in existence, this Milky Way. And so those particular deities that used to live in that world now live in another realm, and they're called the old gods.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
And this is also what we used to be before we turned into humans. So now what happens here is those gargoyles, what you're really doing when you put those gargoyles out for protection, you're pulling in the energy of some real deities that live in another dimension. You see? Now, I got the one from Party City back in 08. So what happened was, the ones I got in 08, I was dreaming. Somebody was coming in the house with a gun. And I ran to the house and trapped the person's hand in the door and turned the gun around and shot the person in the head. Now this was the morning after I put out the 2 gargoyles. This time, Target sold some bigger ones They were $20, and they would only sell one. They would only put out one at a time, so we had to go and buy one, and they had to go to another Target and buy another one and stuff. So, and they all gone now. So they only made a limited few. So anyway, this is what happened. So this was for this Halloween. So we replaced the other ones with the bigger ones from Target. The next morning we woke up, they had some guys out there cutting down a tree. Cutting down these we got these huge trees. And it's damn near an all-day job to bring those trees down. And so anyway, somebody knocked on the door and said, hey, your mailbox is laying out in the street.
Wow.
Laying out in the street. So it was like your mailbox was laying out in the damn street. So they came and they had some shovel to help us dig a hole and put it back down. It's a little lower. I said, but no, that's even better for the mailman because the mail truck is lower. So anyway, what we realized was whatever forces that was around the house, when we put those new gargoyles down, what started happening was those forces got pissed. They got mad. So what they did is they got pissed, and so what they had to do, they just took the mailbox and threw it out in the street. You see? So what I wanted to tell the guy, if you wanted protection, to get you some gargoyles and stuff like that. But I think you can't tell dead people; they think you're crazy. So get you some gargoyles. Now, for people that live in apartments, what you can do is you might be able. Let me see. Let me ask the pendulum. Would it be all right for you to buy some gargoyles and put them on the inside of your door? Or what have you, like that and stuff? Because
right.
Yeah, and all of those things. So let me see. Would that be fine? Yeah, you can put them on the inside for the people that live in apartments. Or if you got a window that faces outside, you can put them in the window. But you got to get you some gargoyles, and right now they still sell them at Party City. You can get them for $12. You see what I'm saying? You can get them for $12. So somebody don't live near Party City, call somebody in a city that does and have them mail you too. But get your gargoyles, you see, for protection also. So that's very key. So let's go on. All right. This is what happened. And this is why I decided within the last year, not to give out no more rituals. Let me tell you what happened. We went to go see the Fela play, off the chain. To come to your city, go see it. And we went through a whole ritual in the Fela play with the Orishas. So when we came back, Reverend Phil Valentine had called about 3 times. So I called him, but it was late at night, so I called him when we got back. So I called him the next day. He said, what I was doing, I was calling you. He said, this girl was trying to get in contact with me to try to get in contact with you. She did a love spell on her man. And as a result of the love spell, she said, as a result of the love spell, the nigga went crazy. And he ran out into the streets. He ran out into the streets, and he's homeless now, searching for her. You see what I'm saying? To try to get back to her, because he just went crazy with this love spell. And I said, well, what happened? She said, she used a combination of your spell, one of Panic's spells, and one of Brother Azazel's spell. I said, oh, God. I said, first of all, the spell I would give out was one where you put a person's name in honey, but it only lasts for about a month or so, and that gives you the out clause. That gives you the clause. If this guy's an asshole, you see what I'm saying? You can't take a smell of his breath or something. You see what I'm saying? Then what happens here is, if he farts too much or snores and shit like that, it's going to wear off. It's a benign ritual. It's going to wear off. But she combined this shit, and this nigga went crazy. So what happened was, I had to call a brother a brother named Andrew in Chicago. And I said, well, if she did some shit And I said, well, I'm going to tell you the truth. I said, a lot of those things, you know, the one I gave out is a benign one that's going to get off you in a couple of months if the thing turned out bad. So what happened was, I called to Chicago, and the brother Andrew knows these Paleros. Anybody? A Palero is a priest of Palo Manombe.
Yeah. So
I told him, I said, well, and I told Valentine, I said, I don't know. I said, maybe she's going to have, maybe, I don't know what she did. I said, I know what mine is about, but I don't know what she did. So when we called the Palero, Brother Andrew called the Palero. Palero said, look, I don't know what she did, but she has to give me the precise measurement of the rituals that she put together. You see?
Mm-hmm.
And I said, she might be fucked and stuff like that. So Valentine said, well, I didn't get a number. He said, I'm waiting for her to call back, but she never did call back. But what happened was, she's messing around, and she's messing around with this thing, and the guy went crazy. So the point about what we're trying to say here is you don't need to be messing with these things if you don't know what the hell you're doing. Now, the fucked up thing about it was this. She was already with the nigga.
Wow.
She just wanted him to pay more attention to her. You know, the guy be into the games or whatever, and, you know, he be doing stuff. He's with you, but no, she wanted him to pay more attention to her, probably how they were when they first fell in love. So she's going to do a special, the guy was already with her. You see? So this is some crazy shit that's going on. Some crazy stuff. Now, as we know, October the 21st, we talked about this the last time, that all of the Christ gods supposed to line up. And we had that preacher that talked about how he said that what May something that was supposed to be the end of the world. He said in the second part is,
Go ahead. No.
The second part is supposed to be October the 21st. And we said there's a lineup, and, you know, Obatala, Osiris, El Cristo Negro, Shango, all of them, Quetzalcoatl, Horus, all of them line up on that particular day. So he sent something, but what he didn't realize, these are components, or these are chemicals that line up in you, inside of us. You understand what I'm saying? Inside of us. So the reason why the preacher, they got it wrong. They're always getting it wrong with the book of Revelation and stuff because they don't understand that this is an inner mystery and stuff. And these are things that is coming online inside of us. It's the return of the gods in which we happen to be those gods. You see. So not only that, this guy named Ian Longo said October 18th, a lot of people are going to start going crazy. Why? Mm-hmm. Because they said that a lot of these dimensions are lining up.
Yes.
And as a result, you're going to be missing time. You're going to be out of time. And they talk about how you're going to have to learn to get into a zone like a basketball player or like a dancer or like a person that's in the zone. You say, well, how can this man take a shot? He got a couple of thousand people watching him in a goddamn gymnasium or auditorium. And he gets the ball, the clock is ticking down, and he makes a shot and make a perfect shot. That is because he's in the zone.
He's in the zone.
He's in the zone. Yep. You see what I'm saying? I tell you when you're in the zone, when you're making love, and you think you're stroking for a couple of hours, and you look up and you only been stroking for like 15 minutes. You see? That's because you was in the zone. You went to another dimension. You see what I'm saying? Like that. So,
right.
Yeah, so what happened here is they're talking about stuff. So these dates come, and what happened was on the 18th, we got a call from a sister that said, Sister Juliet, she said that on the 28th, hawk swooped down in her backyard and ate the head off a kitten, and the mother cat, which I know these cats, man, they protect them kittens. The mother cat just looked at it like, hey, you supposed to do that. And I said, well, and so And so what Linda did, she went to the Goddess Book of Days, and she looked up that October 18th is the day that Isis went to find Osiris in the Osirian ritual. That was on the 18th of October. Excuse me, the 28th of October. The 28th, the other day. So these zones and stuff is actually opening up. You see, is actually opening up. Now another thing is this on these particular zones. Is this. The trees now, if you want to know where the hot spots are for healing and different things, is you got to go to the trees. The trees are some of the oldest things on the planet. So around the base of the tree are these dimensions that's opening up. Now, so what happened is we'll have a set of kittens. They'll get a certain age, and then they'll disappear into the tree, and we don't see them no more. And so we woke up one day and all our cats had disappeared into the tree. So we was a little sad about it and shit, because I'm sad about it. I said, because when they get cold, we need them damn cats to keep them rats away. Because we've been having these kittens and these cats since 2006. And they came right before my mother made the transition. We just found some stray cats and started feeding them, and then they started having litters. And so what happened here, we ain't seen no rats. You see what I'm saying? Snakes or anything, they get rid of all that. So we were like, man, when it get cold, we need them fucking kittens. So then all of a sudden, the tree around the dimension put out a new set of kittens.
Yeah.
You see? Now, the first set of kittens that disappeared this summer, it was thundering and storm. It was a thunderstorm, and so we have the burglar bars on the back door, so we kind of leave the door a little cracked. So they were scared, so they was able to get inside the house when they kind of pushed the door open. And when we came in, they was running around the damn house and stuff. And so what happened was we got one of them to go out, and the other one went into a room. Erzuli has a room, and went up under Erzuli's altar. And then, but I looked for him, I said, he must have got past me and got outside. And then we locked the door. We said, they're gone. We came back. He was running around again, and he ran back in the room and ran up under the altar. What had happened was, when he ran up under his altar, it was another dimension, and he disappeared up under her altar. So that's why, and I said, that's one of the keys of having these altars in your house and putting up these altars, because they bring in other dimensions, just like the gargoyle bring in the old gods for protection. You see what I'm coming from? So as a result, but the trees is where they have all of the images. Now, they cut down three big-ass trees in front of my house about a month ago. But the key here is, it doesn't matter, because what they did is they opened up a dimension. They opened up a doorway just by cutting them down. And I remember this, too. They was taking magic mushrooms up in Detroit, a conscious group. And one guy, when he took the mushrooms, the trees got after his ass. The trees got after him, and he was in the tree. He was running from the trees. Guess what he did for a living? He cut down trees.
Wow.
So we talk about the spirit thing. So this is what's happening. You want to, anything you want to deal with, you need to go and start dealing with the trees. You see what I'm saying? Now there's a book you need to get called. The name of that book is called The Tree of Enchantment. The Tree of Enchantment by Orion Foxwood. Foxwood. But Orion, Orion, Orion Foxwood. So the trees are the keys and stuff, and that's where the spirits and all of that's coming from. Now remember that last October on Halloween, we had these dogs barking and all during Halloween night, and then the dogs never went away, and they barked till the end of the year. We got owls and stuff. So there's a whole lot of things that's happening, and we're coming back online. We're coming back online. So it's just interesting here. It's just interesting here on how this thing is actually what we're dealing with here. So is any questions or anything right quick before? Also, I want to do this for the people that's interested in the New York lecture. For the New York lecture, it's going to be on Saturday, November the 12th, and that's going to be at LIU Brooklyn campus. Now that's down. Anybody been in New York? That's right downtown on Flatbush in DeKalb. Right downtown on Flatbush in DeKalb. But if you in the area and you want to participate, it's going to be called the Cosmic Festival of the Netaru Angelic Forces and the Destiny of the Black Living Gods. Now, if you want to be interested, because I'm going to go into these Nagars thing on that. Okay, so, but you can call Brother Shabazz if you're interested, and the number is 347 683 8122. 347 6883 8122, and the brother Shabazz is the brother that's putting on the actual lecture. So if you're interested in that,
yes. And definitely, I have the flyer up as well, and also here on the remix page, you guys can see it. So if you need to get directions or anything, the information is there for Brother Shabazz, for Brother Bobby being in New York, and also definitely you want to hit Brother Shabazz up on Facebook too. He has it posted there as well too. So if you have any questions, you can call that number.
Well, let me go into this other thing before I get into this angelic destiny thing. Because the question came up every so often. I've been doing this for 19 years, and every so often, this question will come up about, well, how are we gonna save the masses? How are we gonna save the masses? Now, I remember when I first started out in this thing in the late 1980s. We would have me and the brothers in grad school up at Clark Atlanta University and stuff. We used to sit up for days trying to see how we're gonna get black people out of this mess. Because the crack was real bad back then, and the contradictions, and stuff like that and all, and so we would sit up and have all these discussions, and nothing we could think of physically that we know that would work. So we came to the conclusion, when we studied the other revolutionaries from the late 60s and the early 70s, Stokely Carmichael and the Black Power movements and all these other things with the Black Panthers and stuff like that. And they said they had these black guys, they were working hard, and they used to have all these meetings on how we going to get up out of this mess. He said, and they started handing out money and giving people jobs and different things in the 70s, and the people just got out of the black conscious thing, and it had these black leaders and stuff scratching their heads, about to go crazy, because they was like, damn, we don't know what happened to the people. So, so we realized that the masses have never done anything but died. Now, let me explain something here. But we need, but for people that grew on our people, and I know you should have a certain love for your people.
Yeah.
So we still need a better explanation on why is it that the masses can only die, but they can't be everybody, because there's not a national consciousness. And we know that our consciousness is only 0 point something, which means out of millions of black people, you might have at best, on world total, maybe a few thousand, maybe less than that, and conscious people. But more and more people are becoming conscious every day. People bring the phone and stuff, say, I want to get some Bobby products and stuff like that. And Linda will say, well, how long you been in this? Well, I just heard about it last week.
And so true.
See, I heard of it the other day. So there are people waking up. You see what I'm saying? That's why they have to tamper with stuff, with this consciousness and with this pioneer stuff by putting all that soy in the food and all other kind of crazy stuff and like that, because the people are waking up. But this is the key. Why is it that most of the people in the consciousness are just a few people, but why is it the masses are still remain dead? And so, in order to explain this, we need a better explanation. Well, the Egyptians were the masters of knowledge, or the Kamites. So you have R.A. Swallow-the-Lubitz, who was an Egyptologist that went down and studied Kemet. He studied at the Temple of Luxor and excavated the Temple of Luxor for 15 years in the 1940s. Okay. But he they had a thing agreed upon that the Egyptologists will only talk about the pharaohs built these pyramids and all this stuff was, for funerary stuff and all, but they always play down that this is the origin of where all knowledge comes from. And they always play down the spiritual significance. You see, now always Swallow and Lewis started putting out his books. And he started talking about, no, this is talking about something else. This is some spirit stuff, and this is some stuff, and showing the mathematical sequences and stuff and all, And he put out the Temple of Man in a small book, where they released the bigger Temple of Men books in the late 90s. And they said, man, you damn near need math just to figure this shit out. So it showed you that these people were the undependent of all knowledge, the Camites, the Egyptians. But doing his study at the Temple of Luxor, he hit upon something that the priest had put in hieroglyphics in metronetta and knew this, and that's why the priest ran the society. You on? You still on? Hello?
Right, yes.
Oh, okay, good. So check this out. So what happened was the Egyptians say that you got 3 different types of people. You got your conscious, which is the highest level. Then you have your intellectuals, which is the next level, but they're not as high as the consciousness. And then you have what is called automatons. And automatons are people that don't even have a mind. Now check this shit out. Do you know that everybody down here doesn't have a mind? A mind has to be cultivated. So in order for your mind to develop, you got to be cultivated in a society that knows how to jumpstart your mind to working. So this makes sense, because sometimes I say, did them niggas ever, what was that nigga thinking? Two black men in 1993 killed each other over 3 fucking cents. 3 pennies. Here in Atlanta. And you got to ask yourself, what were these damn niggas thinking? You see? This fool-ass girl already got her, man. She going to put a love spell on it, and the man roaming around the damn street crazy. What was she thinking? So the point about it is this. They're called automatons. They're on automation, which means they can only be controlled by the society. So whatever the society want to control them, they design this thing to control the society. And one of the things how they design to control you and lock you in is education, because it's not real education. You see what I'm saying? It locks the mind down. You see?
It does.
That's what Gandhi said. Western education, well, that would be a good idea. So what happens here is, most of the people in the society don't develop a mind. They are only imitating pockets of the society that they are in. Programs that is designed for them, you see what I'm saying? That is designed for them to go about their day. But whenever you introduce consciousness to them and they don't have a mind, they throw it away. They think you crazy.
Yeah.
You see? And what it is, they're called automatons. Now, he talks about this in his book, Sacred Science. R.A. Swallow de Lubitz. Let me spell that. But his wife came up, and she did a book called The Opening of the Way.
Yeah.
And she even simplified his theories of the stuff. He got the stuff from metronetta out of Temple of Luxor and Karnak. So what she did is she was more of a metaphysician. So what she did is that she put it on layman's terms. But her name is Isha, I-S-H-A, Swallow, S-C-W-A-L-L-E-R, and then there's a D-D-E, small D, small E, and Lubitz, L-U-B-I-C-Z. And the name of her book is called The Opening of the Way. If you don't get the author's name, you just need the title of the book, The Opening of the Way, a practical guide for the wisdom teachings of ancient Egypt. but the opening of the way. And in there, let me tell you the page number when you do access the book. And she goes into this stuff. And it gives you an explanation why people are the way they are. So in that particular book, you're going to turn to page 32 in her book. And it's the heading of that particular chapter is going to be called The Consciousness in Man. In man. So most people, they're born here. Some people come to this planet with a high spirit. And you incarnated down here because you came back to know.
Yes.
And so what happens here is you came back to know. As a result, you automatically, and you ask any conscious person, how long you been thinking like this? They say, all my life. You see what I'm saying? All my life. You say, even when you wasn't conscious, you just thought different. You always thought you were special. And that is a way of your spirit incarnating down here so one day you can wake up. The other people, they come down and then they get trapped into the educational system that the government has designed where they took, see, what happened was the Moors put this thing together. They gave them the spiritual aspect and they gave them the several liberal arts. So what happened was that after the Moors was kicked out and the Europeans started designing this stuff, especially Britain, Oxford, Cambridge, and all of those types of things, and some of the schools in France, what they agreed to, because it was all Masonics, was to split it in half and give you the several liberal arts, but don't give you the stuff that explains the quantum world, the invisible world, the spirit world. Everything has another reaction. So what it is because as a result, the seven liberal arts locks you in and make you call a left brain prisoner. Yeah. So that's why you can go to some professors, or you can go to some people that so-called educated and all, and you will tell them about this stuff, and they go, I can't get that. That's crazy. Yeah, that's crazy. And then they give you the fake religion to lock you in. It teaches you moralism, but it don't teach you nothing on the spiritual aspect, because everything's spiritual when it comes to the religion that you go in these churches, they say is evil. So the second one is the intellectual person. He's trapped. And the third one is one that didn't get developed at all, and that's the majority of the people. They're locked down by the society where their minds don't even develop. So in ancient Egypt, there's a book also called Stellar Man by John Baines, Stellar Man. And they say, no, not everybody down here has a mind. Not everybody down here has a mind and stuff like that. And so it's just interesting on how we talk about, and it makes it real clear on how we talk about how we can't get the masses. The masses are not even living. They're transitory spooks. They go up there, they're literally zombies. You see, they're literally zombies. But the ones that's waking up, those are the zombies that the government is scared of. You see what I'm saying? Right. You see, like that. So just very interesting stuff.
Oh, yes.
Okay, what time is it? How much time we got?
We have an hour and 9 minutes left to go.
Okay, let me get into the destiny.
Let
me get into the destiny. And like I said, you're going to get your stuff at 678-358-1055. You want to get these products and stuff like that. Like I said, we're going to start selling these 4 seals. And, baby, they do the work. But now, all this stuff here now, we are being backed up by the angels. So they say, what is this angel shit you talking about? Okay, you remember on the movie, what's that, Hancock. On the movie Hancock with Will Smith.
Yes.
And they asked him, what are you? How you get these superpowers? He say, some call us angels, some call us gods. Okay, so don't explain this angel thing, and then I'm gonna tell you about a living angel. Okay, now, this is what happened. In ancient Egypt, you have these Neteru, or these gods. They call them the Netters. Okay. After so many thousands of years, these these Neterus, you see what I'm saying, the people stop worshiping them or stop worshiping them. So what happened is this. After so many thousands of years, the ancient Egyptians knew that one day the Kemet was going to fall.
Right.
They knew this 5,000 years before it fell. It's in the Hermetic text. And they say Egypt, the most beloved of the gods, that is beloved and is favored by the gods, one day is going to fall and is going to be nothing but one giant graveyard that anthropologists and archaeologists will exploit. You see.
Right.
So, all right. So they said this. So now let's deal with this. What happened here is they knew that if those gods they knew that those gods, if they were not worshipped or and called on as a force field, they would disappear back into the ethers. Because it's just like anything else. It has to be worked with to conjure that energy. All this stuff is a form of conjuring energy. We're talking about science. You see what I'm saying? If you don't keep the coals going into the furnace, the fire's going to go out. You see what I'm saying?
True.
Or if you don't keep the coal going into the generators, the electricity is going to go out. You okay? All right. So it's the same thing when it comes to spirits. So they had these natural rules. So they said, this is what we have to do. They worked at the temple of Karnak, and they're also the pre-dynastic Egyptians who travel out into lands like Mesopotamia, Samaria, and all of those particular ones. They worked on this too. So this is what happened. Christianity and Judaism gets its start in Egypt. So what Judaism and Christianity did, what the Egyptian priests did, is they worked and they started renaming the Egyptian gods. And those Egyptian gods became angels. Became angels. And then some part of the same black language in Mesopotamia, and also in a part of Mesopotamia, Samaria, Babylon, they use the word El. In Egypt, they use the word Al. So they came Michael, Raphael, Bubiel, Sachiel, Castiel, and so as a result, because they were parlayed into the newer religions that was going to run the world for the next 2,000 years. You see what I'm saying? Those same netters was able to exist with a name change. You see what I'm saying? As the angels. You get where I'm coming from?
Yes.
Okay, so what happens is this. So they survived into the new world. Now, this is what makes them the most powerful now, because there was another thing that the Egyptians knew. They say, well, if they become a part of world religions, and you got all these people pulling on them,
right,
their energy will be expended. Their energies will be diluted. And then you would need more and more rituals, you see what I'm saying, to conjure them. So this becomes all of the religions that's left that are literally ancient religions like Yoruba, Voodoo, Palo, and the different ones like that. So this is what happened. But what makes these different? Okay, this is what makes these different. In the Western African religions, you need ritual to conjure that energy. Whereas the ancient Egyptians, when you called those letters, they had to come, just by you calling them. So this is what happened. And it was that way with the Yoruba too. When you called, they had to come. But after thousands of years, you see what I'm saying, they need more and more rituals to be activated. So this is what the deal is. So as a result, they said, well, if these angels go into these new religions, they're going to be saturated and pasteurized and homogenized. So what they did was they made it so that, because any decisions that's happening down here, there's some angelic forces or there's some godlike forces that's making decisions for people. So when they went to these conferences, Conference of Nicaea, Conference of Trent, and they started hashing up the Bible and stuff like that, what happened was they made sure that although they did have these new angels, they only got down to, it's damn near 72 of them or more, because there's archangels, 72 archangels, and then you got your 72 demons or damians, which is just mean inner angels, and then you also have your what you call your guardian angel, which is parts of melanin. That's why we gave you the checks and put your guardian angel. That's some stuff that's coming out of you when you call that guardian angel to sit over your birthday. So anyway, what they did was they made sure that they reduced all of the angels down to only 2 or 3 just in the whole Bible. And very few in the Old Testament. Meanwhile, the priests still carried on dealing with these angels, the Vatican, the Kabbalists, the different people dealing with these angels like the Egyptian priests used to deal with them. As a result, because they don't have a whole line of angels that's in the Bible, they were not saturated. But these same angels we're talking about is none other than the Egyptian gods.
Yes.
Now, this is the key. This is the key. And this is why I think that the secret societies say, well, one day those angels or those gods are going to return, but they're going to return as humans. So let me give you Exhibit A. Let me give you an Exhibit A. So what you have to do, we have to trace them, and guess how you trace them? You trace them through your ancestors. But most people, after their people die, they don't know what the hell happened to them. You see what I'm saying? They don't know what hell happened to them and stuff like that. Because the church got you so that you don't supposed to believe in nothing. People are scared of their family.
Sure.
Yeah, you loved her when she was living, but now the family, the mama tried to get back in touch with you, and you running down the damn street. You see? So,
right.
So what happens here is they make sure that we don't have no mystery of the dead. You see, but yes, they do give you these Day of the Dead cultures, which is the European Day of the Dead is this Hallows Eve. And then also you have the Day of the Dead aspect of Baron Samedi on the 2nd or the 1st or the 2nd in Haiti. But there's Day of the Dead festivals in Mexico and around the world at different times. You see, we just have a national one with Halloween, and thank God for that. You can do what you want. So this is what's happening here with this ancestor thing. Okay, let me give you Exhibit A. My mother made the transition on July the 20th, 2006. She sat in the chair, and she caught on fire. She caught on fire. She spontaneously combusted. There's a book called Fires from Heaven. It's out of print. It's called Fires from Heaven. And it's all on spontaneous combustion. The Fires from Heaven. The guy name is Harrison. I can't think of the first name, but it's called Fires from Heaven. And so she spontaneously combusted, and she went to the next level. So, because they took her down to Charleston, South Carolina, because they didn't know what to say. The funeral man said, well, you got to get the death certificate. He said, but right now, they're doing autopsies down in Charleston, South Carolina, for the simple fact they don't know how she left and stuff like that. And as soon as they said that, I said, I know how she left. They say, next time by fire. She left in a blazing fire, as the angels do. You see what I'm saying? As the angels do. Some angels are taken up as a smoldering fire. Now check this out. They say our God is an all-consuming fire. All right. 2 things happen. Sometime in the spring of the year, my brother called me. He said I ran into this realm, and I saw Mama. Now, my brother always could see spirits.
Yeah.
This is my youngest brother. He said it was a guy sitting on the side of his bed down at our house in Mullins. And my mama said, that was probably your father. You was a baby. So he was living up in Boston. This was in the 80s, or the late 80s, I think it was the late 80s. He went to church. He and his wife, they broke up in the church. They broke up in the church. They went up in the church. The entire church stopped and was looking at him. They looked at him, and the preacher had to direct them back to him so he could continue preaching. But they were just looking at him like they saw a ghost, like they saw a god or a spirit. And they was looking at my brother. So he said, man, the whole church was like, oh. So after the service was over, the preacher came down and said, hey, I don't know what you got, man, but you got a high spirit. There's something about you, man. He said, you need to get into some religion. You know, that's the only thing he could tell him. You know, you need to crack down and get into some religion. Because that's the only thing he could tell him and stuff like that, because they don't know nothing about no spirit. But they did notice his presence. Okay. The other week, I'm going in the post office. A guy turned around and go, yo, you got the word in you. I say, I most certainly do. He said, and as you know, it won't be long now. I say, you goddamn right. So let me tell you. So my brother ended up in a place this spring with, in a place this spring with, it was like some dimension. And my mother looked at him. He saw my mother, and he was like, she said, what are you doing here? And he said, well, what are you doing here? Anyway, what she was trying to tell him, look, where you done ended up, ain't no physical people or ain't no living people here. It's ascended people. Mm-hmm. And so he said he talked to her a little bit, and he said they was talking, and he said she had on a trench coat like Columbo. I said, okay. She put the trench coat on to send me a message. Mm-hmm. Okay. To send me a message. So what happened was, hold on 1 minute.
Okay.
Got to get some damn water. I'm talking so loud. Anyway, so what happened was, she was sending me a message. So she said, I said, I know what that is. I said, you never seen the episode of Supernatural. Supernatural been coming on, they're in their 7th season now. They've been coming on since 2005. And Supernatural is the two brothers that go down and they do all kind of stuff with ghosts and do all type of stuff with demons and all types of stuff, you know. So what happened on Supernatural, one of the brothers in I think season 3 or season 4 went to hell. And so what happened was, because they was doing stuff and they was tracking down demons, and I think Lilith pulled one of the brothers down to hell. I think it was season 3 or something like that. So in season 4, on the first show, he wakes up and he breaks out of the graveyard. And so they was like, well, he said, I'm back. And so the people was like, well, hey, how did you get back? How did you get back? And anyway, they had figured out that the only way a person can get pulled out of hell is an angel of the Lord. So by the end of the show, the angel appears, Castiel, and he wears a brown trench coat. So I said, when he said that, he's never seen Supernatural. So, and it comes on, I think, every day at 12 to 1 on TNT. You can catch it every day if you want to. It comes on Friday night at 9 o'clock, the new shows. But all the back shows come on, I think it's like they back to back, either 12 o'clock to 1 o'clock or something like that. It's back to back. They're 2 hours long. So, but you check, they come on every day at TNT. So anyway, he's never seen Supernatural. And I said, oh, I got what it is. She had on the trench coat to send me a message because I watch Supernatural. And I said, do you know, Castiel on Supernatural, he wears a trench coat. Okay. And I said, not only that, she's sending a message because she know that I know that Castiel is a real angel in the Bible, and Castiel governs Saturday and Saturn, which is he's a Capricorn angel. And my mother, when she was in the physical world, was a Capricorn. She's a Capricorn. My grandmother's a Capricorn. My grandfather's a Capricorn. My father's a goddamn Capricorn. And you know, so I said, well, she was Capricorn. And all. Baron Sun is a Capricorn, a Saturn angel and stuff. So I said, so she know that I knew that Castiel was Capricorn. In so many words, I said, either she's turned into a form of Castiel. Now, this is where we're going with us. This is where the human destiny meets what's going on. Because now we got living people, and we can track them. Even your boy, Fela, he said when his mother got threw out the window, they killed his mother in Nigeria. He said she went on, she transcended, and now she is a spirit, a grain spirit, in the Orisha kingdom. So if you can track these people are turning into gods. Yeah. You see what I'm saying? And so, so this is the other thing. The kingdom is with us now. It's the only reason why we don't know about it is for one reason. Our pineal glands are gradually opening up, and once they open up, you're going to find out that the ancestors residing with us now.
Yes.
You see what I'm saying? It's just that we can't see it because our pineal glands are sedated. You see, but once the third eye open, you're going to find out that they're already here. When Troy Davis made the transition, hell, only thing he did is he was like, God damn, I was here all the time. I was just locked up in this world in a prison. You see, and you see, they got a show on now called Once Upon a Time. It aired last Sunday at 8 o'clock on ABC.
I just watched them tonight.
Yeah, on ABC. And they're talking about a world, it's the fairy book world, and the wicked witch said, I'm going to put all y'all in prison. And guess what? She took them. She took them to this world. She took them to the modern world. So she took them to California. She took them to Texas. So they went from the enchanted world to this world. And that's the prison. And they don't even know who the fuck they are. One girl said, I just know that I knew you in another life. I met you before. So that's because the pineal gland is shut down. So now this is the deal. So what it was is when I started reading and dealing with the whole Castiel thing, I said, well, according to this, my mother is ruling over a whole new kingdom, like a seventh heaven. Okay, I was reading that on Castiel in the Dictionary of Angels by Gustav Davison, the definitive text. Dictionary of Angels, I think it's Dictionary Encyclopedia, hold on. It's the the Dictionary of Angels, including fallen angels, by Gustav Davison, the definitive text. And I said, according to this, my mother is ruling over her own realm. So when I told my brother that, my brother said, well, it's interesting you would say that. He said, because about a year ago, even before she told me about the Castiel thing, he said, it's interesting you would say that. He said, because about a year ago, he said, I went and saw her again, and she was at a table, and it was a line of people, and she was signing these people up. Like to go into something. I said, well, I'll be shit. I said, I'm glad you didn't tell me before I read the book.
Right.
In the book, I said, because I would have thought I'd been influenced by it. He said, no. He said, about a year ago, I saw her and she was signing people up. So, a funny thing happened. She had a best friend that just made the transition back here this August. This August. My brother called me and said, Miss Hattie Mildred just died. She was one of my mama's best friends. She just died. And he said about 45 minutes ago. So I went in to the living room where I got all these altars, and I said, I'm calling. I said, I'm calling on behalf of Hattie Mildred. And I said, Hattie Mildred, I summoned her spirit. I said, now you're gonna grab this dog named Anubis, and he's gonna take you through this doorway. So you imagine the doorway in your mind. He's gonna take you through this doorway. And I said, who am I? I say, I am Bobby Hemmitt, son of Glaciria Hemmitt. So a few minutes later, a forest came and knocked down another big-ass tree across the street, and it fell into this house, and this house is now, they got these houses, they turn them into nursing homes, nursing homes. And it fell into this house and knocked out the lights on that side of the street.
That's what's up, because the one thing that human spirit can feel and come through is wood. It's wood.
Now, it's interesting. Now, check this out. So she came and got her best friend. And then she and with that force, she knocked down that tree. And so I said, well, can people call on you? She said, oh, no. I said, well, and I said, I got it. You a force. And I said, oh, that's that force that knocked down that damn tree. She said, I'm a Saturn angel. There's a book called Saturn, The New Look at the Old Devil. And Saturn comes to chastise. She said, no. She said, no. Now, it's interesting here because she was a god all the time. Let me tell you what happened. My mama's name was Glaciria, which is a form of the word Sirius, the star Sirius. Now check this shit out.
Yes.
My mother, I said, well, how the hell did you get that name Glaciria? You know, your sister's name Alfreda, your brother's name Milton, your other brother's name Maceo, and you're named Glaciria. I said, how did you get that name? She said, she said that as far as we know, my grandmother, which is her mother, she said some white woman told her the name in passing. Gave her that name. So what happened is this. When she gave her the name, she said, and it's supposed to be in the Bible. It's supposed to be in the Bible. So what happened was, we looked for Glaciria for years and the Bible couldn't find it. I said, wait a minute. They gave you another name. My grandmama heard it and translated it as Glaciria Sirius. But she said, the name is in the Bible. Now check this out. When we was little, we used to go up to a store called Roy Taylor. And Roy Taylor had a wife named Lou. And she would be the one, she would cut the meat in the back. She'd get on that goddamn meat cutter, this white woman. And so they knew my mother, and when my mama would come in, Lou would say, she would call her Glacius. And we just thought that she was mispronouncing it, but she would call her, what it was, the spirit was calling her Glacius. My grandmama named her Glaciria. The white woman who gave the name said, he said, name her Glacius. Name her Glacius. My grandmother translated it as Glaciria. When we would go down to Roy Taylor's store, this other white woman would call her Glacius. So, let me tell you what happened. So, this is years later. We never could find Glaciria in the Bible. So I got a book put together by an arsenal of people. It's so many scholars put this book together. This book is about 1,000 pages. Let me tell you the name of the book. Let me tell you the name of the book. I had to find this book. It's got about 1,000 damn pages. Let me get my glasses because I want to tell you the name of this book. The name of this book is The Dictionary of Deities and Demons in the Bible.
Yes.
It's a big book. You heard of it?
Yes. You told me about it actually a while back.
Okay, yeah. It's called The Dictionary of Demons, or Dictionary of Deities and Demons in the Bible. The second edition, expanded edition. I think I talked about this one time on the show before. So there's so many names. You only need the name of the book. The Dictionary of Deities and Demons in the Bible. I got it used. How much I paid for it used? I got a used copy. I was lucky. I got a used copy, and I paid about $40 for the used copy. And used, This book is very expensive. Let me see if I can find the price on this thing. This book is very expensive. Now, it's interesting here on how the spirit works. And I just found out this August. I had the book about 2 years. Okay, the book is $59, so I must have paid. I paid 30 something. It's close to. The book is $60, so I paid half of that. You know, because it was used, but it was a new looking book, so they had it at 30. So I got the book. Okay. So what happened was I was looking for Glaciria in the book, couldn't find Glaciria, and then I remembered. Then I started going down the lines, and one of the words was glacious. I said, oh, shit. That's what Lou, the woman used to cut the meat, in the deli, that's what she used to call her. Wow. And they're saying glacious in the book, and she was some kind of deity or angel in the book. And she's in the Bible as glacious. So the deal on what I'm trying to say is this. Our ancestors have already been assigned. If you got some people that's passed on, especially the ones who had a sense of knowledge about them and majesty. My mother, let me tell you something. My mother was a person, you ask her any goddamn thing, she would give you the answer. And I don't know how the hell she used to do. We just thought, well, she was smart, she was a school teacher. But that's fucking impossible for you to give us an answer. Or anything. We could ask her anything. People used to come down the fucking street and ask my mother. There was a woman, the woman who buried my mama, who started she was a DJ. She went back to school. She got her divinity thing, and she's not a preacher at the church. And she's the one that resided over the funeral. The woman said, this woman is a man. She said, this is what happened. The woman said this shit at the funeral. She said, I had a son that graduated from law school. He had a case in Mullins. That's where we from. And he met the woman one time, and when he was getting ready to do the woman case, he forgot his client. He said, oh, I'm in trouble. This is one of my first clients, and I don't know the woman's name. I don't know where she lived. I don't know nothing.
Wow.
The preacher said, hold on one damn minute. She said, hold on 1 minute. They said, call Glee. She called my fucking mama, and she said, explain the situation. And my mama told him who the goddamn woman was. Wow. So my point here is, the ones that you're going to look for, that the ancestors that have these high stations are your relatives that had the talent. Your relatives, like you might have a nigga who could fix something. We got a guy down here. We got a nigga down here on crack. This nigga could fix anything. He an electrician. He a plumber. You see what I'm saying? He a jack of all trades.
Right,
but not,
right.
They say jack of all trades, master of none. No, this motherfucker jack of all trades and master of every damn thing. You see? So you're going to look for the people who got special talents. You see what I'm saying? You're going to look for anybody who was psychic, who could see, who would have this sixth sense. Anybody who stood out as special. You see what I'm saying? Who stood out as special. They got a high place in the heavens. You see? And that's how you're going to track these ancestors. You see? So now, come to find out, my mama sent word when them angels came back in '09. They say that the Archangel Michael, he has a cycle that's been in for a couple of thousand years, or for about 1,000 years, or a couple of 100 years. They said his cycle will give out and end, and then the angel Raphael will start the new cycle. Raphael is a Saturn angel. So what my mother did is she sent word about Castiel, but she know that I knew that Castiel was a Saturn angel. Right. Now, this is how you make the clues. Then I heard Rudolph Steiner talk about in his book called Archangel Michael, but it's also Archangel Michael, but it's also in the book Encyclopedia of Angels by Richard Webster. They said that the cycle or the era or the age of Michael, Archangel Michael, is going to give over to Archangel Raphael, who is a Saturn angel. Guess what? That's who my mother is. I was thinking she was Castiel. No, she said she wanted to show you Castiel, to show you that Castiel is an angel of Saturn. But they also say that this cycle going to give out with a Raphael from Michael to a Raphael. I said, oh, shit. That's why she went up in a blaze of fire. She came back a year later. She said, I had to sacrifice and go up in the blaze of fire so I could get shit straight for many of people. You see, so this is the deal. And it just came to me, oh, okay. You are the new cycle that Rudolf Steiner in the early 1900s said that Michael's cycle going to give over to the age of a Raphael. And I said, a Raphael is a silent angel. Oh, so that's who the fuck you are. You see, now, dealing with that, it means, and I guess it had to happen to me because I got the kind of knowledge to understand this. So I guess you study long enough. You see what I'm saying? A lot of people won't be able to understand it. So it had to happen to me in that line. Now, this is the key. This is the key. And so what we say in here is, in looking at her transformation and her climb into these angels and her climbing into having whole sections of these spirit realms that she's over, it means that now we are at that stage now. We just don't know it because of our pineal glands ain't quite open. You understand where I'm coming from?
Yes, yes.
You see, we're at that. That's the destiny. It's already come back.
That's it.
It's already come back. Now they talk about this comet Elenin. Came in on the 16th, which is Lakshmi's Day, which started the Diwali Festival, which is a prosperity festival. The Diwali Festival going to last. It came in on October the 16th, and it's going to last all the way to December. And so on October the 16th, they also worship El Cristo Negro down in the one that they worship him on the 21st in let me see, I know it's Puerto Rico worship him on the 16th.
Right.
Lakshmi's Day is the 16th. Now, the key here is that Elenin comet came in on the 16th. Some people are saying that it's also Nibiru. Nibiru. Now, this is the key. Both in Robert Temple's book, Serious Mystery, and also in a book called The Architects of the Underworld by Bruce Rux. He said that you have Nibiru. He said, but you also have, in Egypt, Nibiru is more of a Sumerian name. In Egypt, it's called Neb-Heru. And in so many words, when you translate it, guess what it means? People are looking up at the star in Elenin, and they're looking up at the star. They've already named it Nibiru, but Neb-Heru means the pineal gland, which means it's right on time with the third eye mirror. You see, so Elenin, although I can see it up in the sky, it's a ship. But in all honesty, if Elenin is Nibiru, which they're calling it both, if it's Nibiru, then it means ultimately there is a comet, but it's also talking about the ushering in, opening up the doorway to heaven, which is the pineal gland. The pineal gland in Egypt is called Neb-Heru. The same Neb-Heru is translated Nibiru in Samaria. You see what I'm saying? They call it the 12th planet. They got several things, but it's also now been connected to Elenin, and in all of that, we're also talking about the third eye.
Yeah.
And that's when we looked up and went to the supermarket, and everything is full of soy. It's in the cookies. It's in all your bread. So they say they put it in there because soy is nothing but plastic. They make plastic out of soy. You see what I'm saying? So if you really want to fuck a motherfucker third eye up, give them the soy. They take the soy. You still on? Hello?
Yes, yes.
Okay. You give them the soy. The soy is in the Similac and the Infamil. It's in the formulas that the babies drink. So they'll come in here brain dead. You see. Now, don't be alarmed. The third eye is an indestructible seed. You see what I'm saying? You just got to get off certain things. They say flour. White flour. The third eye is an indestructible thing, but certain things you gotta get off of. You see what I'm saying? So this is what's going on, and so this is why the Black Mirror. Why all of a sudden the Spirit gave me the vision of the Black Mirror. You see what I'm saying? So now people bought the Black Mirrors. They say, well, what is it for? Now, because Nibiru is here, or Elenin, and it also means the third eye. Now is the time to get the Black Mirror. Now is the time it's going to activate. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
See what I'm saying? When it's going to activate. You see, got to drink a lot of water. Reverse osmosis water. A lot of water. You see, a lot of water. If you can, go on a fast. Juice fast. Or if you don't go on a fast, do the Ramadan. Let me tell you what Ramadan is. Ramadan used to be put in, it came out of Egypt. See, different people who, after Egypt fell, the people of those particular lands kept some of the motifs and the practices that the ancient Egyptians used to do. So in this particular case, Ramadan came out of Egypt, and what Ramadan was for is when Sirius rose in the sky and the Nile rose, the priests would tell the people in Egypt to go on their diet. See, the priests every day wouldn't eat until sundown.
That's right.
You see, okay. So after Ramadan rose up, they would tell the other people, you got to go on the diet of the priests for the month of Ramadan. Ra-ma-dan. Ra, Amun-Ra, Ma, Ma'at, Dan. Dan is a god that Samson, which is Ra-Heru-Kahudi, comes from the tribe of Dan. That's another god, Ramadan. You see, so now, what the deal here is, the priests used to do this every day. They just told the people, well, in order to get the energy of Sirius or the dog days in the sky during that month, you got to do like us and don't eat till sundown to catch all that energy. But they used to do it every day. And so this was one of the things that later on ended up being carried over with the Arabs or the Muslims. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
It was a practice that came out of Egypt, because you got to realize now, it was far, for most of the people, they tell them to do it when Sirius rose.
Yes.
Okay. During that time, dog days. But the priests used to do it every day. Now, this is the key. The Muslims kept it up because the Muslims, they used to, Muhammad's father was a Cushite Arab. Because that whole area from Ethiopia on into India was the ancient Cushite Empire. And Saudi Arabia, Yemen, and all that stuff running up in northeast Africa. You see?
Yes.
And before Islam rose, they had a series of 3 male goddesses. One of them is Alat. You see? And so they also dealt with the whole Sirius stuff. That's why Sirius ends up in the Surah of the Star in the Quran. It says, this is the God who created both male and female from one single ejaculated semen. He is the Lord of Sirius. Now, the Lord of Sirius would be in Egypt. The male Lord of Sirius would be Osiris, because Osiris is also Orion, and Sirius is in the constellation of Orion. So the surah of the star, they still got the surah of the star in the Quran. They got the surah of the moon. That's Tahuti. That's Khonsu. You see, they got the surah of the Tau. That's Heru. So some of this stuff sifted over because they used to have a mystery system in that time when Muhammad was a child. You see what I'm saying? Or it was a mystery system of the Cushite Arabs, which was talking about was talking about the Ethiopians. That's why Bilal was from the Ethiopians. And they say Bilal was a slave. No, but Bilal is the motherfucker who wrote the Quran. Remember now, Muhammad couldn't read or write till the day he died. So who wrote the Quran? The most wisdom person, they say, the Ethiopians, the burnt-faced people who are never wrong. Just nothing but the fathers and mothers of the Egyptians or the Camites. You see, so this is the stuff that's going on. So if you don't go on a fast, at least observe Ramadan. For you people in the consciousness, you observe Ramadan from now on as much as you can. You see, so there's certain things you got to do. You see, so now let's go into some question and answers.
All right, everyone. We are live here with Brother Bobby Hemmitt. We have about 26 minutes left to go in the forum. We will go into overtime as well, too. We're going to be taking questions. Get your questions ready. And the number to call in if you have a question, 646-652-2711 is the number to call for questions as well. And also press 1 when you get on the phone line so we know you're here to ask a question. And so also for those of you who are listening out there, if you didn't get a chance, know that you can get all of these things we talked about tonight, the picture package. You can get the angelic stimulus check. You can also get the Black Mirror, all of these things for your activation, growth, money, whatever, by contacting Brother Bobby.
As well as, you know, within the angelic stimulus package, we also have the purple energy disc, the Techion energy.
Okay.
You see, so we got all of that stuff.
Yes, it is a must. I definitely have mine. You guys should get yours, 678, and the number you're going to call, 358-1055. That's how you're going to get in. So we're going to go to the phone lines. Press 1 when you get on the phone if you have a question so we can go to questions for Brother Bobby. We're going to go to the first caller. It looks like calling in from area code 516. You're live in the remix. Please tell us who you are and where you're calling from. 516?
Miss Blue.
516?
Yeah, you there? Can you hear me?
Yeah.
We can hear you. Greetings. Who's on the line, please?
This is Q. Quentin.
Greetings, Quentin. You had a question for Brother Bobby?
Yeah, Brother Bobby. I recently got the pack, and I just wanted to kind of go over and hear from you. How would you use it on a daily basis?
Which one?
All of them. Whether the disc or the picture package or the mirror. Or in the mirror, I have all of them.
Well, okay. The mirror, you stare in it when you get the urge to stare in it from time to time. What it does is it strengthens the third eye.
Okay.
And soon you will start to see things. So it's an inhibitor, not an inhibitor. It's a strengthener. It strengthens the third eye. You see what I'm saying? And you stare into it as much as often and stuff until you see visions. Now let me give you another thing on how the third eye works. The third eye also works. A lot of times, if people be looking for visions, it's coming thoughts, too.
Mm-hmm.
Third eye also works as thoughts, knowledge, channels, all of that type of stuff. So, okay, now, as far as the picture packet, we have put just about most of the deities that you can think of. There's hundreds of deities, but we put most of the essential deities from around the world in the picture packet.
Okay.
So, what you do with that picture packet here is I know some people got the whole thing on the whole wall. You can do that like wallpaper. But what you can also do is you go through the picture packet and you look at the names at the bottom, because all of them are named. And so you look at the names at the bottom, and when you look at the names at the bottom, you go on the internet and look up and learn more and more about those deities. What you're going to find out here is if you're drawn to a picture in there, and there's 70 of them, usually that's that deity summoning you to make contact, to help you and all, to help you in your endeavor. Some of them be for knowledge. So what you do is when you look at those pictures and you read the attributes of what those deities are, because now you don't have to have a whole lot of books. Just go on the internet. All those deities are in there some kind of way. And if you read the attributes and this deity summon you, then you'll understand that this is the area at this particular time that you need to be focusing on.
Okay.
Whatever deity you come across. One deity might be a deity for knowledge. One deity might be a deity for sleep. One deity might be a deity for healing. But if it summons you and you look at the bottom of the picture and then you go to the internet and look up the attributes, that's the area on what you're supposed to be dealing with. So that's one. And you wear your purple disc. That brings energies. That's one on where that tachyon energy is good for Kundalini energy. It's good for healing. And like I said before, we had one sister, she sent her brother one in Iraq. And he was out there, and all his friends got killed in the battlefield in Iraq, and he was the only one the bullet flew right past him. That's because of the tachyon energy, which is these angelic forces from a ninth dimension. So those are things you can work with and just, keep the check framed. You can keep the check framed.
Okay.
And, and at times you can go in, if you can get the book, because the name of that book, that the angels came out of, those books, each angel has I'm trying to think of the name of that book. Each angel has an invocation. From time to time, you can invoke that angel. The guardian angel, is the people who get all of that. So it's different things. Then also in the picture package, you should have 4 archangels.
Yeah.
One sister healed herself from cancer with those 4 archangels, with the 4 archangels and stuff like that. So we got all of that type of stuff. But like I said, I got these new seals coming for prosperity, protection, angelic forces, all of that stuff. You see, all of that and stuff. So we got a lot of stuff. Just call to inquire about that.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
Okay.
All right. Well, thank you for calling in. And also for those of you who've had readings and angels and goddesses and gods have come to you, I always tell you get the picture packet because that's where you can get the pictures. And another thing is different from just going on the internet and getting pictures. These are pictures that have been with Brother Bobby for years. So
right.
They're already charged up. So
they're charged up.
Right away.
They're charged up. Let me give an example. I think I might have told you this before.
Yes.
There's a book called Napoleonic Egypt, and so one of my friends, he got he got they would take out a school loan, and you get the school loan and you get some money on the side after you pay what the school get. You might have a couple thousand. So
right.
when he asked me, he said, "Yo, what you want? I got my school loan in." I said, "Well, hey, I need this Napoleonic Egypt book because it has all these Egyptian temples. Now, I got those Egyptian temples. All of them are in the picture packet. So what happened was I was working down at my little friend's store named Stiegel, and we would feed the AU Center, Spelman and all of those type things, and all. And what happened was I was waiting on the shoe industry to reply, come back to New York. And so the guy in New York said, I ain't got no money to pay. I don't have a job for you now, so go back to Atlanta and get you a job and work until we can put this business together and stuff so we can open up these stores and different things. We're going to put you in Ebony and all this kind of thing here. So that was the guy, Roger Bowman, the designer up in New York. So I went back, and we used to go in there and we'd be talking all this consciousness. And in my man's store, he said, yo, man, he said, you went to school with these students. I need somebody who knows the rapport of these students and stuff to come in here. And so all I want you to do is write out these damn tickets and call out their food. That's all you got to do. And I kind of hesitated a minute, And he said, oh, okay now. You talking all that black shit. You don't want to work for the black man? He said, you say you ain't, you need a job until that shoe shit come through. I said, I'll be here Monday morning. Okay. So what happened was, I worked for him about 2 years, and he paid me under the table. I was making so much money under the table. So what happened was, one day during the summer, he got cheap and fucked around and put me on the grill. So, you know, it's slow. You know, a lot of the students going home for the summer. You can handle them goddamn orders. I said, now, are you sure? So he put me on the fucking grill. I was slinging that goddamn grease and shit. And so when I left the store to go home, about 3 o'clock, the stove was burning up. The stove caught on fucking fire. And I knew what it was. I was slinging that goddamn grease, and that grease it started a grease fire. So, so the store, the whole back panel of the wall burned up. His license, the store license, the inspection, all the paper on the wall burned up. And I had six Egyptian temples, the ones that's now in the picture packet. They was sitting on the ashes.
Wow.
Perfect. The wall behind it was charred ash, and the pictures were still sitting up there. He called the house, because he said, well, you know, you don't have to come to the store. He said, because I'm renovating. He called the house and said, Bobby, you need to come down here. He said, you need to come down here and see this. So when I got down to the store, the fucking pictures was on still nailed to the ashes. The wall burned up behind the pictures and didn't even burn up the pictures. That's what kind of power those shits had. And I had those temples since 1991. You see, 1991. And the pictures burned up, and the stove burned up the year I started lecturing in 1992. And I've always had those pictures. So we got tons of this stuff that I have collected where I paid $100 for a book for one goddamn picture. But it was a picture you had to have. And that's how you do research. You can't be cheap if you're in the spirit world.
You sure can.
You know, I know niggas, they buy a book, it's almost like they're buying a goddamn house. You know?
Yeah.
Come on, man. You can't spend there was $14 in the 90s. Now them books, they done put new covers on them, and they charge you $30.
They sure
but people being cheap, you see.
Yes.
So give me some questions.
All right. We're going to keep going. We're going to go to the next caller calling, and it looks like from area code 281. You're live in the remix. Please tell us who you are and where you're calling from.
Hello?
281? Yes, greetings. You're on the line.
Hey, how you doing now, brother Bobby?
How you doing? All right?
All right, not too bad. This is Andre. I wanted to ask you a question. I also wanted to get with you to get a hold of one of them packs, though, because, you know.
Call the number 678-358-1055. But what's your question?
Okay. Well, it hasn't been happening recently. The last one that came to me was Brother Panic, but I don't really get, you know, I guess from the answers, the answers come through, but it always be in the form of people who are alive. It never be like people who are like in the spiritual realm, they and dreams or whatnot. Because at first it started out with you, and you know, I guess because I listened to the lectures, but why is that?
You can pull up people's thoughts, people's frequencies. It's all one frequency. As a matter of fact, we are not local and we are not long distance. We are one. You ever heard that before? Mays had a album. We are one. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
We are right here. It's just that this realm and this realm of illusion makes you think it's distance. So you can pick up people's thoughts. You can pick up people's essence, especially if it's you know a person you know that's been doing this for a minute and is in the spirit world. Yeah, so that's what that is. You know, you own. They call it the frequency. That's what we used to call it. And you're on the frequency, and on that frequency, you know, there's a movie called John Carpenter's Vampires. John Carpenter's Vampire. It came out in like 1998. And in there they said when the vampire bites you, they say you got about 24 hours for the vampire frequency kick in. And once the frequency kick in, he has you. So in so many words, we own that frequency. Now that used to happen to me when I was in my excursions with the females for about 4 years before Linda came.
Right.
I had a bunch of girlfriends, and but how I did it now, how I was able to do it, I didn't have messing with one woman, didn't tell her. I told them all, you can be my girlfriend, and tell them I got other girlfriends. So I had a little heat, and so what happened was when I start knocking the boots and stuff, when we start getting down sexually, I'd have to take the phone off the damn hook. Because I had established a psychic, vampire, tantric link with the rest of them girls, rest of them women.
It's a cord.
Right. A cord, right. So what happened was I had established a psychic link with them because sex is real spiritual. So every time I would do it, they would start ringing the damn phone. And I said, excuse me, I got to take this phone off the hook. Because multiple, they would ring the damn phone. And when I called and said, I knew you was doing something, I felt you. I knew you was doing something and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So it's a frequency. That's why sometime when you cheat on your wife, or you cheat, or she cheat on you, you know it because it's a frequency. Yeah, because it's a frequency. And I did know this about Linda. It's just that the only good part about me is when I decide to be with a person. If I decided to be with the multiple girlfriends, but when I decided to settle down and be with a person, I never do cheat on those people. And it's just something that me and my brothers, because we was raised by two strong women, we never really cheated on, on the people that we were with permanently. You see what I'm saying? But, but even if I were to cheat, I really would get fucked up with Linda. Because it was a movie with Richard Pryor, Which Way Is Up? And Lynette McKee tell him, she said, if you fuck somebody, I will know it. And stuff like that. But that's how Linda is.
I remember that.
That's how Linda is. I was in Chicago. This woman, this was about 2 years after we got together. This woman invited me to Chicago to do a lecture.
Yeah.
To do a lecture. And so, come to find out, she was inviting me up there to get busy. I told her, well, if you would have did this 2 years ago, there wouldn't have been no problem. I was lining them up. Hey, I was equal opportunity. Fat, old, skinny, short,
Everything she wanted.
And and stuff like that. No, stuff like that. The best ones. Them goddamn bisexuals, them lesbian women.
You ain't lying.
Them the best ones. Woo! Them motherfuckers is gatekeepers. Had a couple of them too. You see, they wasn't all the way lesbian. Them motherfuckers could roll. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
You see, they could perform. But check this out now. So I'm up there in Chicago. This woman get naked and get in the tub, and the door is open. And she in there moaning and groaning in the tub, and I'm like, what the fuck was this motherfucker doing? And then Linda called, and she say, now, we inseparable. Yeah, and shit like that.
Oh, man, no.
And so, at the end of the day, at the end of the lecture, like 3 days, the woman said, I tried to do everything to get you in bed. Why you didn't get down? I said, well, I don't get down like that when I'm with somebody. I say, if I'm going to be like that, I might as well stay single. I said, but I already know now if I had done something, she would know about it. She would know about it because she picked the shit up with the woman naked in the bathtub. I never told her about this. And she called and said, now, we inseparable. I'm like, what the fuck? She picked it up and the woman in the bathtub and shit with the door open and stuff. And with the door open and stuff. You see, I say, now, it would have been 2 years ago, I'd have broke you down like a motherfucking shotgun. You see?
Right.
But, so my point is there's frequencies. There's frequencies. This motherfucker now, I had this mucus. So she go, you know, when I went into that dimension, you see what I'm saying? My throat is two dimensions. So what happens is it causes mucus because the simple fact I'm in 2 dimensions. So if my diet is off, sometimes I'll have the mucus in my throat, and I won't even let her know. And she go, your ass done ate some bread or some shit, you hawking. I'm like, God damn it, I said, I haven't even coughed, I haven't done anything like that and stuff. So my point here is, you know, when I itch, she can feel it. You see what I'm saying? There's certain things, certain frequencies. You see, certain frequencies, and so that's what's happening. You know, but now this, you know, but her, you know, like I said, the woman was just in the bathtub, and she picked the shit up. I guess she picked the shit up of the woman longing for me. You see what I'm saying? And I never did go, and she was trying to get me to go. She left the door open. She was trying to get me to go in there and look at her and stuff like that, but I wouldn't look. I was in the other room talking, okay, having a conversation with her, but I wouldn't go up in there and stuff. So, like I said again, that's what you're picking up. So give me some questions.
All right, we're going to keep going. All right, thank you for calling in. Yes, thank you for calling in. We're going to go ahead and go to the next caller. We're going to go to we have about 6 minutes left to go in the forum. So for the rest of you, if you don't get a chance to stay on, make sure you download. Make sure you reach out to Brother Bobby, 678-358-1055. If you like the show, I want you to like it on Facebook. If you love it, and leave a message. We're going to go to the next.
Well, I'm going to say one thing now. This line is for ordering the product. This is not a consultation line. What I do if a person wants a consultation, now I say, look, I got over 400 videos. You can get all the knowledge you want. Just order the DVDs. You see what I'm saying? So this line is not to get in touch with Bobby Hemmitt so we can break bread and stuff like that, you know, on that particular level. You see, I got volumes of knowledge and stuff in the 19 years of lecturing, enough stuff to fill your curiosity. Buy the DVDs and stuff like that. Especially now with the internet, motherfuckers is cheap as shit. You know, everything free. So,
there is.
Yeah, so give me a call.
All right, we're going to go to the call. Going to the next caller, 7-3. You're live in the remix. Please tell us who you are and where you're calling from.
Hey, what's up, Bobby? This is Reggie.
Yes.
Greetings, Reggie.
Bobby,
you have a question?
Yeah, Anetta that nobody's ever really heard of, you know, came to me in a dream, and I can't get back in contact with him. So, you know, I was wondering
what was Anetta's name?
I can't give you that name. I can give it to you in private. I can't give it to everybody on here.
Why not? What's the point? You think the God is only for you?
Another person who does Egyptology, he was like, don't be giving out that name.
Oh, that's bullshit. That's bullshit.
Well, let me ask you a question.
I've been working with goddamn spirits for years. You talking to a damn expert. That's some bullshit. You can give out that name. That's how the motherfucker get their energy. You give out the name. You strengthen it. If you give out the name and people call on the name, you strengthen the deity so the damn deity can get back with you. You see?
Oh, okay. Yeah,
that's how you do that. This ain't no motherfucking hard and no goddamn gods. These gods is for everybody. We are in the days of our people learning and stuff. You see what I'm saying? You know how many deities I got with new names? Over 100 of them came. Ain't nothing special. Between 2001 and 2005, there was over 100 deities. I had to make a book and make seals to put them damn those 100 new deities in the doggone book. And the day I finished the book, fucking Katrina hit. So I'm just saying, man, you know, what's the name of the god?
Oh, the god name is the son of Atum Ray, Neb-Nater.
Neb-Nater?
Yeah, Neb-Nater, yeah.
Neb-Nater?
Yeah.
Well, like I said, let the people, you know, call up the deity, Neb-Nater. Like I said, there's hundreds of deities. You see what I'm saying? There are hundreds of deities and stuff like that. The more you call on the name, the more powerful they get. You energize them. So by putting them out like that, he can get back to you faster than be harding some damn deity, some old bullshit nigga in Egyptology. Don't know his ass from a fucking hole in the ground. You see, you could be in Egyptology. I guarantee you, motherfucker, don't know nothing about no spirit world. You see, about no fucking spirit world. I done been to this shit that I done had angels come and break me off some goddamn pussy. And then get stingy about the shit. You see?
Uh-huh.
So that's what I'm saying.
All right.
So yeah, just you work with it. Just call out the name, and share the name with people. That's how those things. That's how they. Remember, I just said this whole lecture about how when those deities they was gonna stop calling on those names and they had to go into other names and stuff like that. That's how you do it. That's why he was coming to you, to be known. Because when you call on them, they live. You see?
Yeah.
You conjure them. So one of the most powerful things you can do is to give his name out on this damn on this internet. Then you conjure them. See what I'm saying?
I guess that's why I got through this phone line. This phone line was packed.
Right. So that's what I'm trying to say. That's what they're trying to say. I mean, what's the difference? What's so special about you that a motherfucker gonna be your personal shit, like you personal relationship with Jesus or some old bullshit? You know what I'm saying?
Right. It's not like it was your name and something you wanted to use for yourself. You were if you're trying to give it out, you're fine. But you got your answer, and thank you for calling in.
You call on those deities and they get stronger. You see? As a matter of fact, that's the reason why the damn question came through. The deity wanted to be named. He wanted his name to get out there. He or she, because they're actually androgynous. You see?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All
right.
We're going to keep going. We're going to get to the next caller. We have about 1 minute left to go, you guys. So press 1 if you're on the phone lines. You can get in. If you don't get in, I know that you will download the show. So download. Peace and love, warm spirit. And you guys, we're going to keep going after we get done. We're going to go to the next caller calling in from area code 284. You're live in the remix. Let's see. 284, you're live in the remix.
Yeah, good night. Can you hear me?
Yeah, mm-hmm.
Yes, greetings. Who's on the line?
This is Uriel calling in from the Virgin Islands.
Okay. It's a good name. Uriel, right?
Yes, it
Actually,
is.
It's Yuri. Yuri is my first name.
Well, either way, that's still angelic. That's the angel that sits over the earth.
Yeah,
mm-hmm.
Well, the funny thing is, my mother's name is Latry.
Oh, that's something, yeah. Mm-hmm. What part of the Virgin Island you from?
The British Virgin Islands.
Yeah, see, they got a lot of East Indians that they brought over and they migrated over there. And a lot of black people intermarried with them. Because they celebrate that same Diwali festival last week. It was on the 16th nationwide, from India, but down in Panama, they celebrated it, I think, on Thursday or something like that, yeah. So they got that whole East Indian connection going on. What's your question?
Yeah, man, my question is like, these past couple of days, it's like things I've been thinking have been starting to happen.
Manifest, yeah. Remember I was saying that one of the guys named Ian Longo, he said, when the 18th comes, when the 28th comes, he said a lot of people are going to be going crazy, and that's what he was talking about. Stuff start manifesting that way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So watch your thoughts, because thoughts are things. But also, if you need something, think it. Make it happen.
This is the time. Yes.
Right.
Trust me, I tried that already, and it amazed me when it happened.
Yeah.
But the funny thing is that it can work both ways.
Oh yeah, I was lying to people on the phone one day, and the damn lie came true.
Yeah. It'll work. It will.
It'll work. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So I was wondering, what kind of techniques you can use to strengthen, to block out that other side? It's like sometimes something just flashed in my head the other day. It was like, you remember the movie The Sphere?
The what? Yeah, the Sphere. Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
right.
That's what I feel like I'm going through right now. It's like,
yeah. Well, all you got to do is basically, for the stuff you want to manifest, you think it, and the other stuff you think positive thoughts.
Uh-huh.
You see, if I say I'm broke, Linda will always holler, God damn it, don't say that.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? You're not broke. So the point I'm trying to make here is don't conjure up nothing that you don't want manifest. So what you do is you think the things that you want to happen, and basically you try not to think the other stuff. You see?
Okay.
Right. And it's good not to get mad at nobody.
Yeah.
Because the simple fact is this thing is manifesting like that. You can hurt somebody.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? You know. And at this particular time, you're supposed to separate yourself from around stupid people any damn way. Because the real negative people, real negative people can bring you down. Like, take for instance, on Lakshmi's Day on the 16th of October, I got a call from this woman, and I was telling her how to go on this fast and go on it and get off the meat and do all of this and stuff. And when I got off the phone, I could barely talk. I had so much fucking mucus in my throat. And what it was is this woman's energy was so low. Until when I was telling her about my ordeal and what I had to go through, her energy was, I was actually conjuring up her fucking energy by us having the conversation. You see what I'm saying? I had a damn mucus attack. You see, because that's the way the stuff is now in these different dimensions. With me, I get the mucus because that's that dimension, and battling the lower dimensions. So that's what happens. So my point here is to stay around people with low energy.
Yeah.
They got high energy, but they got fucked up thoughts.
Yes.
Because the woman that I was talking to, she done had reading after reading after reading, and they say that this woman is the God incarnate. But the problem with her is she's born down south, and she never can believe that she could be that powerful. So therefore, she thinks negative, and because she has a high spirit, she actually manifests the negative. You see? Right.
Yeah.
So,
I can relate to that.
Yeah.
Yes.
Right. So a lot of the people who can do damage got powerful spirits, but they got fucked up minds. So the shit flip side. You get the adverse side. You see what I'm saying? That whole thing, yeah. Yeah, you know, there's two heads on each side of the coin. But yeah, just do it that way. It's all on what you mentally deal with. What you mentally deal with.
Okay.
Right.
Well, thank you so much for calling in. We hear the birds in the background.
And also, if you can get it, it costs about $100 now because it's out of a print. I tell people to get a book called The Magician by Philip Cooper. I tell them about this all the time. The book has been out of print for about 10 years, but you can find them on the internet, but it's going to cost you something, but it's worth every penny. It's called The Magician by Philip Cooper. And they talk about how to go into the subconscious mind and train your subconscious mind to manifest what you want.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Oh, also, is there time for one more question?
Well, they got to...
Go ahead, really quick. What's your question?
Then it's like sometimes I be sleeping and like around 3 o'clock in the morning or like 2 o'clock. I just wake with a flush, with like a sense of just waking up, and then out of the blue something would just drop. Someone just straight drop in the room, man.
Well, what it is that's the time when your pineal gland secretes the melanin is at 2 and 3 and stuff like that. So in actuality, the melanin force is already high in you at that time. So therefore, you be pushing shit around. You just got to learn how to control it and stuff. But you control it by going through your own exercises. You know your body more than anybody else.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay then.
First time that happened to me. Okay, yeah.
Okay now.
All right.
All right.
All right then. Thanks, guys.
Yeah.
All right. We're going to continue with questions for Brother Bobby. We're going to go to the next caller calling in from area code 516. You're live in the remix. Please tell us who you are and where you're calling from.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes, we can. Who's on the line, please?
Hi, Miss Blue. Hi, Bobby. I'm Miss.
How you doing?
Pretty good. I got a question.
Who's on the line, please?
Oh, this is Martin. This is Martin from Long Island.
Okay.
And I got a reading from you. Oh yeah, the question. I I got in one of my dreams. They gave me a god name. It was called Wepawet.
What's the name of it again?
Wepawet, Wepawet, or Upuwet.
That's an actual Egyptian god called Upwaret. That's an actual Egyptian god.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I was wondering if you could explain the true story, because they give us that dualistic story, but could you explain the story between the white Isis and the black Isis, or
the white Isis? The white Isis is the manifested Isis. The black Isis is the neglected Isis. You see, it's the neglected Isis. So the white Isis would be Aset, and the neglected Isis would be her sister Neptes. And she's neglected because of the simple fact that her husband was Set. So she's more of an underworld type Isis and stuff like that. They're two sisters. The one is the neglected half, but also that also means the neglected half means she's one of the most powerful halves and stuff like that. There's a book called Isis Magic by M. Isadora Forrest. It's out of print. Gonna cost you about $100 or $90, but it's worth it. It's about 600 pages. One of the baddest books ever came out on our set. It's called Isis Magic. M. Isadora Forrest, and she put out another one. It's out of print. It's called Offerings to Isis. So this is the one to tell you how to do a lot of the rituals and stuff. So one is Isis Magic, and the other one is Offering to Isis. But the last name of her name is M. Isadora Forrest, Forrest. Must have books if you can get your hands on them. But the Isis Magic is out the chain. But the Offerings to Isis is awesome to a lot of people because it tells you stuff to do, and how you can put up the altars and stuff. It's badass shit.
Because I definitely want to invest in that book, because I bought a book because it's so hard to find anything on Wepawet, and I got this book called can't remember the name. It's about the Egyptian dog, and it said for the Wepawet section about some of the pharaohs have to go through the process of becoming Wepawet.
Yeah, well, like I said, just a matter of doing the research, man. The research. There's another book a lot of people didn't get, but let me see the name of this thing. The reason why a lot of people get it because it was a book that came inside of a tarot deck, and it's called when you get the tarot deck and get the book, it's a fucking badass book. It's called the Egyptian Book of Doors, Divination Deck. The Egyptian Book of Doors. Just remember that. You don't need the author name. You just need, it's a divination deck. But in the deck, the book is superior. And they break down those gods like you're talking about in each nome and each area. If you really want to get it, get that Egyptian Book of Doors and stuff. Yeah. Right. And you'll get more detailed information on what gods, which one rules the cosmos, the one that rules the land, the one that rules the underworld. It gives you all of that. The Egyptian Book of Doors. It's a tarot. It's a divination deck. It's called the Book of Doors Divination Deck. The alchemical oracle from ancient Egypt. Let's get the name right. The Book of Doors Divination Deck. Alchemical oracle from ancient Egypt by Atan Veggie. Athon, and the last name is Veggi, and another person is called Allison Davison. It's two authors. The Egyptian is called the Book of Doors Divination Deck, and in there is a badass book that breaks down each one of those deities. Each one of those deities. As a matter of fact, they use Swallow the Lubit's work out of the Temple of Karnak and the Temple of Luxor to put this deck together. And it's off the chain. A lot of people didn't get it because it was inside of the book was inside of the deck, and a lot of people didn't buy the deck. So if it's still in print, but if not, you can go online. If it's out there to get, you can get it online. You best believe that shit. You might have to pay a pretty penny, but like I say, cheap motherfuckers finish last.
Right.
Cheap motherfuckers finish last. You see what I'm saying? My mama told me this shit years ago. She say, You get what you pay for in this United States of America.
That's
Ain't no
right.
deals. That cheap shit might not last. My mama told me that. She used to tell me that all the time. You get what you pay for in this goddamn country. You see what I'm saying?
True.
You get what you pay for. You know, always buy the expensive cheese. You know,
Right.
Yes.
you know, you get what you pay for.
I agree. That's
You know, I
it.
used to buy that cheap ass cheese and be jammed up like a damn brick, constipated.
Yeah.
You buy that expensive cheese and your shit be straight flowing. You see?
Right.
Yes, sir. Mm-hmm.
All
Yeah,
right,
I'm telling you.
definitely gonna try and come to New York. Thank you, Miss Lou, for the reading.
Yep.
It really helped me out this time.
All right.
Okay, beautiful, and thank you for calling in. We're going to continue here live with Brother Bobby Hemmitt taking questions. Calling in, it looks like from area code 284. You're live in the remix. Please tell us who you are and where you're calling from.
No, this is me again, Miss Lou. This is your
Oh,
real.
I'm sorry. I must have hit the wrong one. Sorry about that. Going to the next caller. Calling in, it looks like from area code 254. You're live in the remix. Please tell us who you are and where you're calling from. Okay, they must not be on the line. All right, if you have questions, I need you to press 1, you guys. I see everybody here. People are telling me they want to go next. Press 1 so we can get some questions. In the meantime, Brother Bobby, we have 45 minutes to go in the form until we can get the board, because I think it's doing something. It's kind of spinning. It's so many people on here.
Okay.
Hopefully everybody can still be on. But as we continue on, I want you to talk to us a little bit more about what we can do to keep preparing ourselves to get ready for this transition into 2012 that we have coming up.
Just double up on what you've been learning. You know, double up on what you've been learning. So I can say that you know, I made a promise back when I was a vegetarian, and I got off and I got off the vegetarian. I made a promise that I'd never stop eating meat and I'd never fast again. Shit, after them motherfuckers finished with me, I was fasting and off the meat. So my point here is, I'm not necessarily telling you to become a vegetarian if you're already not, because it was easy for me because I did it the first time. But what I'm trying to tell you here is you still got to watch your diet. So you know what I'm saying? And my point here is, if you do eat very little.
Yes.
That's the key. Because what's happening here is your light bodies are going to another level, but you're going to weigh yourself down by eating all the time. So if you do eat, I'm not telling you to be vegetarian. The only thing I'm trying to tell you here is, if you do eat very little. Observe the Ramadan. You see what I'm saying? Observe the Ramadan. And another thing, if you don't feel hungry, don't eat. Don't get scared and say, I gotta eat something one time today. No, don't eat. Take your ass to bed. That's what used to happen when I was in college. My mom and them dropped me off. They gave me a fan. They put in the room. They gave me a can of Raid, because I was in the dormitory. And my aunt, she would always buy us some Fruit of the Looms. They gave me a pack of Fruit of the Looms. And I was on my motherfucking own. Them motherfuckers forgot about my ass. And I used to be in there, man, and what we would do, I said, damn, I'm hungry. Motherfuckers say, go to sleep. Take your ass to bed. And stuff like that. And what we would do, we'd go and steal a loaf of bread from the cafeteria, and we'd ball the fucking, take the ends off and ball that dough up, and eat that dough, and then drink some water, and the bread fill up in our goddamn stomach. We'd be back to bus. But the point I'm trying to make here is, if you don't feel hungry, don't eat. Look, Elijah Muhammad used to say that the gods would live to 300 years, and so they talk about this in the Bible. But when they identify it, they always talk about the people, the Egyptians and the Ethiopians, would live for years. And they say, well, how did they say, well, and when they wanted to die, guess how they would kill themselves? They start eating 3 meals a day, and they could leave the earth quick. You see, they start eating 3 meals a day. And that's what fucks a motherfucker up. So you can do that and stuff, like I say, get into all this stuff. You know, anything, you know, but it's happening anyway.
Yes, it is.
It's happening anyway, so you want to, and like C. Freeman L. used to say, always look for spiritual things to happen.
Yeah.
You see.
Expect it.
Expect these things, and that way you manifest these things. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Beautiful.
You see, yeah. Now they got this new shit. It's called All Natural Relaxation Marley's Mellow Mood. It's some stuff that the Bob Marley people put out. All Natural Relaxation Marley's Mellow Mood. Now, what this thing has in it, it has a melatonin, but it doesn't have the melatonin from the 90s. The one from the 90s, they had to stop making it because that's the one they was getting out of people. And like Dr. Richard King said, if you get that melatonin, the real melatonin, if the white folks put it in them, they go crazy in 48 hours. So what they did was they had to stop making that one, the one that was taken out of people, and now they got a dietary supplement that they call melatonin. And that's the one that's in this Bob Marley's thing. It's a natural supplement. But it's a relaxation. It's supposed to get rid of stress. You can buy it at Whole Foods and different places, but it's like it looked like a can of Red Bull, but it's got Bob Marley face on it. The shit is tight. So get some of that. I've tried it.
Definitely. Yeah. Well, everybody is saying they definitely is on it. You need to get that as well. You guys, definitely the picture packet, that's going to be crucial, especially for you activating, really trying to go into different gateway opening.
And especially that third eye package, you know. Yeah, it's off the chain. That comes with 2 CDs and 2 DVDs. And a third eye invocation come with it. So, yeah. So, let's look, 678-358-1055. You said I got some questions?
Yes. Well, I can't get to the board, so I won't be able to click on anybody. So we can take questions from the chat room. If people have questions, write them in the room. And I'm still trying to work on the board here, but for some reason it won't let me click on anybody's name to do the questions.
Well, you ask some questions then.
Okay. So let's talk about this. There was just recently, they talked about how, well, first let me tell you this. First, I want to talk about the Milky Way and about this new planet that they, new galaxy that they seen forming. And it started forming right around the time of when the star Sirius came back into the sky. I don't know if you heard about that.
Okay. Well, I'm going to be honest with you. You know what all that is?
Yes.
They are planets, but they're also a line of spirits and ancestral spirits. And that's what's forming. It's pockets of our DNA doing its thing, changing, that's being seen in the sky. You see what I'm saying? That's why, if you notice, the government, they don't tell you nothing about no Elenin, no comets. They used to talk about Halley's comets and stuff. They've been quiet on stuff because they know now. You see, they know now that a lot of this stuff is us coming back online. Like my man, central nervous system built him a new artery in his brain. You see what I'm saying? So it's some of that type of stuff that's going on, or some angelic clusters. Like, take for instance, when I was talking about my mother is set over a whole region. Those could very well be what they're seeing up there in the sky. You see what I'm saying? A whole new array, a presence of spirits and stuff. So it's planetary. It's shown in the physical world as a planetary body, but it's shown in the spiritual world as nothing but DNA and different things. When I talked about how we have our own orbit that we're bouncing around in, but we're too busy dealing with our damn personalities to go beyond that. You see what I'm saying? So you have to get rid of that person that you've been thinking you were all your life. Undo yourself and become that planetary body. You see what I'm saying? Who gives a damn about your personality now? You see?
Right.
It doesn't matter. None of this stuff matters. If all this shit mattered as far as the way we feel is important, then why the fuck we die and the damn earth don't stop bouncing?
Right.
You see?
Right.
You see, so get rid of that and stuff like that. So in so many words, what you're seeing out there in the sky might be own galaxies of your own energies coming into being that you got to connect with. And how you do, you let go. Give up.
Give up. And that's one of the big things that I talked about, and I was thinking that as well, because people are leaving the planet in droves.
Right.
I mean, people are leaving here in droves because these are a lot of gateways. People are really getting themselves up out of here, and they're leaving in droves. Another thing, somebody's asking the question, if you could talk on a little bit, they want you to speak on this about cords. We brought it up early about how we form these cords with people that are connected with us. I think you talked about it, but if you want to speak on that.
You said what now?
About energetic cords, how mothers and babies have cords. You have cords.
Oh, right, the frequency.
Yes.
Those frequencies. Well, the first thing you do is you want to align yourself with people that's going to be conducive to the people you want to form the frequency with. So if you got people that's conscious, you got people that's talented, and you got people like that, you would want to form a frequency with them. A lot of times just by thinking of them, you see.
Yes.
You ever heard of, you talk me up. You know, you call me up.
Oh, I was just thinking about you. All of those things. And the cords are important, and you can also release cords as well, too. I don't know if you want to talk about that. And then the slime, like sometimes people can send messages to you if you're connected to them. That's why and it's important to stay with positive people because you can actually have somebody slime you and send you some negative stuff.
That's true too. That's true too. That's why you like to say positive people and stuff like that. Because what you got here is what had happened was with the sister that I was talking about. It zapped me. She's a vampire now. She's an energy vampire, and she's not even aware of it. See, a lot of times you got to be careful because it's not that people are just evil. A lot of people just are not even aware that they messed up. You see what I'm saying? They've been so used to being so down. You see, so, you know, and my thing here is you need to limit the bullshit people out of your life. You see what I'm saying? They say the path to enlightenment is a lonely one.
Yes, it is.
You see what I'm saying? But a divine one. You see, you know, so sometimes seclusion is good. You see? And as you know, a lot of those people you call your family members were only your family when you were rearing yourself. You're not even related to them as you become an adult. And especially if you become conscious. You're not even related to some of those people. You see. Don't count yourself amongst them because you think you came out of the same birth canal.
That's right.
You see what I'm saying? So those will be the ones, like I said, you can have one, the spirit world can see one light body coming down the earth, and they'll send two other bodies to come out the same birth canal to keep the light beam held down.
Yes.
So a lot of times it can be your own family members you got to damn. You know, you ain't got to cut them off completely. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
But you don't have to doggone keep a connection with them because you think they're your kin. You see what I'm saying? And they might not understand it and stuff and might think you getting a little uppity. But only if they are spiritual or if they are talented and if they got some sense about them, you see what I'm saying? But if they fucking fools, fuck them. Right. You see? You know, because they can be vampires too. Needy niggas and shit.
That's true.
You know.
Just feeding. Just feeding on that.
Yeah, right.
I want to talk some more about angels and just really kind of giving people more of an understanding of the difference between, well, here's a question that someone asked me, so I'll tell you, that they were told that they were an archangel.
Yeah.
That they were an archangel.
They were?
That they are an archangel.
Yeah. Most of the conscious people that we talking to, we are archangels. Yes.
Yes.
Just like we call ourselves gods.
Yes.
You see what I'm saying? You see, you are, and especially if you're conscious these days, You are an archangel in search of yourself. Yes. Yes. This is the Grand Assembly. This particular conversation we are having, you see what I'm saying, is a Grand Assembly that they call a gathering. When does the gathering happen? I tell you what, don't you have reports after I leave that people be like, they be in, for days they be in mesmerized?
They sure do.
Okay, that's because we have gathered. We in a Grand Assembly. And if you ever see my house and see the damn altars I got up in here, you see what I'm saying? It got up in here and stuff, you know, it's in a whole nother dimension. Some people come up to me and say, you know, those vines is growing right there? They don't grow on regular land. They grow near the sea. Why are they growing right here? I said, because this house got everything. Yeminya is up in here, and she's the goddess of the sea.
That's
you see?
right.
You see, so the point I'm trying to make here is, but then there's the gathering of the gods, and that's what we're doing right now. You think you listen to the Bobby Hemmitt, but actually we're gathering, and we are nourishing each other. So that's why when we leave, the shit be on a frenzy for a couple of days. You see?
Yes.
You see, for a couple of days and stuff, and plus, you got to realize all that hollering I'm doing, I'm invoking. And I've had this gift since I was in elementary school. The teachers used to go, man, you need to quiet down. In the lunchroom, they're like, man, we can hear you. They said, we be on the outside and we can hear one motherfucker talking. I was in the 6th grade. They said, we can hear you. But that's that energy where you are conjuring. You see what I'm saying? And waking up them souls and stuff like that. So in actuality, that's what we're doing now. And so it is the Grand Assembly of the angels. You see what I'm saying? Each angel has a day of the week. Each angel has a month of the year. And each angel has a zodiac. So you were born on a certain day, a certain month, and in a certain sign. So who the hell are we talking about but the archangels?
That's right.
You see?
Same thing.
And ultimately we're talking about formulas of melanin, souls. You see what I'm saying? And different things like that. Yeah. So that's it. Yeah, we are that. We are that.
The other thing I want to talk about, which when it comes to the collective consciousness, I know, and you probably know more about this, but I kind of ran into this research where they have these devices that really measures the collective conscious. It's not everybody, but they're in every major city across the world, and they measure it like the ones and the zeros, the binary code. What happened is they said right before 9/11, 4 hours before 9/11, the meter went up. And anytime there's an event, whether it's a national disaster or if there's something good, this group of collective consciousness, this energy, they can measure it across the planet now. So that's the same thing that we've known how all is one, like you were talking about.
Right. You know, it's interesting you say that. Look, I was in New York during 9/11. I had to steal away in the middle of the fucking night.
Right.
But in the middle of the night. Now, let's see, that Sunday, me, the Sister Kimberly, and the Sister Deborah used to be a serious time. She was my business partner at the time. What she was doing, they sent her so she could catalog all my DVDs and put them in a chronological order and catalog these things and stuff. There's so many of them. So there was videos at the time, you know, and stuff. So she got all that together. So she went up to, I had a lecture with Azazel, and we went up to we flew to New York. So we met up with Sister Kimberly, and we rolled up. We had to go to Montauk Point. Montauk Point, Long Island. We had to go there, and guess what? We had to do a ritual for two goddesses.
Yes.
Yeminya and Oshun. And we had to go and put them offerings on the water, for those two goddesses. And as a result, the next day, 2 days later, the two buildings fell. You see what I'm saying? Now, some people say that they saw gods.
Yes.
warring with each other, two deities. You see what I'm saying? When this thing went down. So, yes, so that collective consciousness, all of that type of stuff, because I know we was locked in ours. Yes. We was locked in ours. And as soon as the building fell, I said, at that time, I had to go get a phone card. I walked down the street. They said, you can get the phone card, but whatever you do, do not take your ass to that airport. Because they own your shit. Now, the sister Deborah left the day before 9/11. When she got to the airport, they said, "Where's Mr. Hemmitt?" She said, "Wait a minute, motherfucker. I bought my own damn ticket. Why are you asking this question, where Mr. Hemmitt?" You see what I'm saying? Like that. So the point I'm trying to make here, so all that stuff was actually happening. Yeah.
Yes. Beautiful.
Yeah, and so it's some stuff.
It's some stuff, yes, definitely. So the consciousness can be measured, and do you think that if the consciousness can be measured, it also can be, that energy can be directed as a consciousness too?
Yeah, you're going to find out something. I guarantee you, after the night, you'll have a certain part of people waking up.
Yes.
Because we are actually, you see what I'm saying, opening up gateways, you see, as we gather. Because every time, sure enough, somebody will call and go, "I just got into you yesterday." Yes. Like, damn. It took me, it took most people years to wake up.
Right.
You see, that's because of the gathering. We're changing the frequency. We are calling all this shit into being.
Yes.
You see what I'm saying? We're calling all this stuff into being. You see, meanwhile, TV is telling you that you can't do shit. You see?
Yes.
Yeah, that's why they'll have shows like Heroes, and won't be no black people in the Heroes that can do all the stuff.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? But one guy calls me. He calls me from he's West Indian. And he'll call me up once every other month, scared as shit, because he watches the news all the time.
Yes.
Watches the news all the time. You think this Herman Cain gonna win? You gonna think that? I say, well, whoever the fuck win, you getting the same goddamn people. You see what I'm saying? If Obama is related to the Queen of England, it's the same show. You see? So he'll call. He will call about the recession. I'm like, wait a minute, hold on. Nigga, since when you been on this earth and you wasn't in a goddamn recession?
For real.
I say, you calling a recession because white people are in a recession. I say, and guess what? If white people ever was to get out of a recession, and they not, but let's say hypothetically they would, you would still be in a goddamn recession.
Yes.
You see what I'm saying? Now, this is what they're saying. And we already creating magic. I'm glad this came up. The Congressional Black Congress did a thing, and they said, they did a research, and they said, do you know right now that white people are in a recession? They say black people are in the Depression era.
Yes, yes.
As far as our finances and stuff, we in the Depression era. Now, black people don't know they're in the Depression era. You want to know why?
No.
I'm going to tell you why. Because if your mama living,
that's right,
you going to live with mama.
That's
you
right.
see? You're going to double up. If you can find somebody to stand your ass, you see what I'm saying? You just go back to mama house if she living, or you go to brother house. You see what I'm saying?
So many people are doing it. They're doing it, yes.
They're doing it and stuff like that. My point here is we don't even know we're in the recession because the simple fact here, guess what? We've been training for this all our lives.
That's right. It's not new to us.
It ain't shit. Okay, well, they don't cut the water off so frequently, so I'll pay the electricity. Because they'll cut that electricity off faster than they'll cut the water, and I'll skip that and double up on the next bill. Yeah, I'm just trying to say, we do shit like that all the time. We are masters at that. As a matter of fact, we so much gods at being with nothing until the white man might have to come with us and give a black person's manual on how to survive in this bullshit. Because we the masters of that shit.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? We the masters of that shit. Look,
so true.
Somebody will send me a money order, And if the money order is past a certain amount of money, I can't take it to the white post office. This is a postal money order, and it's like $700. I can't take it to the white post office because everybody goes through there, they pay with credit cards. But we got a goddamn black post office in the heart of the black community, and it's around all them 5 schools, and niggas don't have no credit. And they have thousands of dollars on hand every time you go up in there. You see what I'm, every time you go up in there. So now, this the new shit. Go to Walmart, pay $3 for a debit card.
Yes.
Whenever you want to get something and you need a credit card, you put the money on the card and get what you gotta get. Now, and then this is the shit that happened. So many white people started doing it with the Walmart card. It used to be free. You buy the card, you put your money on it. Now they charging you $3 each month.
Yes.
But it don't matter though. This is how you get around not having no fucking credit. Come on, I ain't got no credit card. No, just go to Walmart and get the credit card. You know, the debit card. Then put the money on there and shit like that. You know, and then buy what you have to buy. You know, because if you want your cable cut on, you got to have a credit card. So you go put the money on what they say. They swipe it. They just want to see if it's active.
That's
you see? So there's different ways you can survive.
It sure is.
It's different ways you can survive. So Sam's Club wouldn't take the EBT card. They started losing, but most white people are on food stamps now, and they started losing millions of dollars until everybody doing the EBT card now. Why? Because it's only a recession when white people are poor. But my point is, niggas be like, we in a recession. I'm like, nigga, since when have you been on this fucking planet and you wasn't in no goddamn recession? Are you crazy?
Yes,
you're right. We paying attention to white people's problems and don't know their problems. You see what I'm saying? Let's put it this way. Their recess is our reality.
Yes, it's our reality. So true. And this brings me to this other point about everything that's going on with, well, it's not just on Wall Street anymore, but just with all of the...
you know what? That's the beginning of the end.
Yes.
You see, it started with Arab Spring. It started with the Arabs.
Yeah.
You know, Tunisia, Egypt, Libya, all that stuff. Sure. Then it started over here first in Wisconsin with the teachers and all the union shit. And then this shit done hit Wall Street, and now it's everywhere. You see? It's every damn where. And guess what? Some of these people are down there, and they don't have a clue on why they're down there. The first couple of weeks, they was asking people, well, why you down here? And they couldn't even give them no damn answers.
They couldn't. And you know what else I found to be very interesting? I was having this conversation. I said, if you look at the signs, you can see clearly, like you said, most people don't know why they're down there. Mm-hmm. And one of the things that they're doing, you have now white, middle to upper class, or used to be white, who are saying they are now part of the 99%.
Now check this out. And guess what? And guess who ain't down there in droves? We are not.
Yes, we're not down there. I said, how?
And somebody asked him, Bill O'Reilly said, why the black people ain't down there? Somebody said, shit, this ain't new to us. we born into this situation y'all have it now.
That's right.
What the hell we going to be down there for?
Right.
You know?
They're trying to move their leverage to separate the classes, which was something you talked about. I don't even remember what DVD it was on. This is why you guys need to get the DVDs, because you get to see things you don't see on YouTube. But where you talked about there was not going to be a middle class in America anymore. There's no middle class. The middle class is really gone. It really is a question between either you have or you have not. That's
right. Right. And don't fret about Obama or none of that political shit. Don't believe that political shit is real.
Right.
Herman Cain is now leading the Republican Party because the simple fact here was they put him in there to be the buffer. What happened was they go, look, we don't want it to look like a whole bunch of white guys running against this black guy. So what we do is we put Herman Cain in, and then we tell the people that he's leading in the polls. You see what I'm saying? That's a strategy. You know, what kind of fucking polls? Who makes this decision? And all that is a gimmick. Then they'll show his campaign manager smoking on the campaign. And people don't know that that's there for a reason. Yeah. All that shit is fake. It don't matter who gets in there, Republican or Democrat. You understand what I'm saying? So don't even get into that shit. You see what I'm saying? Don't even get into that shit. You know, some sister called me up, wrote me a letter because I said some stuff about Obama. I'm like, oh, look, honey, that man is an elitist. That man is a part of the Queen family. You think he give a fuck about you? You see what I'm saying? You think he give a fuck about black people? So I'm just trying to say, the West Indian guy, he gets all into this political shit, and he's so confused. And I say, don't you understand that all of that shit is designed to keep you, to mind control you into keeping their shit going? You see. Meanwhile, black people have become gods in this shit. They say we're in the depression based on the numbers, and we walk around every day like ain't shit happening. Nigga can get him a Mountain Dew, he good to go. You know?
That's right. And our spending power, because one of the things that they're really trying to do, and you kind of alluded to this too, they're really trying to force. We looked at this. We watched Europe go through this.
Right.
Paper money out of circulation. They want everything to be online and digital. They do not want exchange of paper money. And there are even some places that charge you extra if you go to pay the bill in cash.
Right.
They charge more because they don't want you to spend this paper dollar. They don't want it. But
either way it goes, we going to bounce back. Why? Because we live in hell daily.
Yes.
You know, we live in hell daily. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know, that's the way the shit is, you know. You know, so, yeah, you're right, you know, but my point here is that's their problems. That ain't our problems.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? Shit. Since we've been on this earth, you know?
True. We know how to survive. We know
what
to do.
Exactly. Exactly, you know. You know, so that's what time it is. Yeah.
We have 14 minutes still left to go, Brother Bobby. I don't know if you can hear me clear.
I got you.
Okay. 14 minutes still left to go, and I want to talk again a little bit about just to kind of give people an overview again of the different things that you offer. I know you have the Black Mirror, which is definitely there, the picture packet.
Yeah. The Black Mirror, it comes with 2 CDs, 1 DVD, and it also comes with a third eye invocation. We have the picture packet with close to 70 pictures of deities, temples, and all of that. And then we have the angelic stimulus package, which comes with 2 DVDs, and it comes with the purple energy disc, and it comes with the check that you sign with your name, with the guardian angels. Then we have we have tons of my CDs over the years and stuff. You see what I'm saying? Just tons of that and stuff like that. And like I said, you know, you're just getting snippets when you go on YouTube. But most of these DVDs are 6 hours long, and in the 90s they were 7 and 8 hours. Yeah. And I had to cut back not because I was getting old or getting tired. I had to cut back because I was losing the crowd. You see, they could only go. They told me they could only go about 6 hours. You see what I'm saying? And the only reason why they could do that because when I poured them libations, it catch them up in a frenzy and stuff. And I did that before I came on tonight. I did the libations, so I carried the energy with me. So if you want to know about that, it's here. You see what I'm saying? So we have all of those particular things at 678 358 1055, and we got the new seals coming. One is the protection seal. One is the money seal. One is the money seal. One is the 7 archangel seal, and like I said, then we have one with complete good luck seal. Now these are very powerful. These here is going to be on the money. It's about 4 of them in a packet, and all you got to do is put them in your house, and the shit going to get funky. And watch them, because guess what? Our ancestors now are the angels. These are angelic seals. And if some people got a problem with the word angelic, they are gods. Some call them angels, some call them gods. Same thing. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
It was the same thing. You see, so we got all of this stuff and stuff. So when you're ready, 678-358-1055. Yeah.
That's right. That's right. Yeah, and somebody's asking about the stimulus check. How long do you keep it? You keep
it forever.
When did I get mine? I got mine a few years ago, and I still have it.
Yeah, you keep it forever. And see what's going to happen here. It kicks in, but see, a lot of people don't understand something. Prosperity is not necessarily all the time monetary.
No.
It can be health.
Yes.
It could be
knowledge.
Health. It could be knowledge. It could be you getting some help from somebody. It can be you helping somebody. Then it can be monetary. So it's a multiplicity of things. Because you're talking about an angel, a guardian angel, you see what I'm saying? And in this particular case, they call it the car. Then we talking about melanin. So we talking about a force that got your back. Period. You see what I'm saying?
That's what you need now. Something that has all around. So for protection, it's there for you. Anything. Prosperity is everything. Your health. It's to protect you. It's to, help you with your spiritual path. It helps you with everything. And just knowing that when you get the angelic stimulus check, it will tell you who your guardian angel is, how you can begin to work with that energy and invoke that energy.
I think the book is called Angel Sign. So if you want to, once you get, we give you the page out of the angel sign where your angel lines up with your birthday. But if you want to go more on it, you can order that angel sign book. Some people getting that book off the internet for like $6. And if you go there and you look up your angel in the book, and if you look up your angel in the book, the angel also has an invocation, which means that you can say that invocation to that angel. You see what I'm saying? When you want clarity or you want some activation, but it's always doing that. You see, so you benefit also by the name of the authors, the two authors, and the name of the book is on the sheet of paper that you get to have your guardian angel on it. Go to the internet and take those authors and the name of the book, angel signs, and order the book. And then read about your guardian angel, then you have an invocation in there. So several things you can do. You see, But we send you the check, and we send you the name of the angels. We send you the purple disc to enhance the energy. You see what I'm saying? To enhance the energy, and we send you several other things. We send you 4 seals, 3 or 4 seals to put in your wallet, prosperity seals. So, we got all this going on. But these new ones I got is going to be on the money. These here, these new ones you're going to order, you see what I'm saying? There's 4 of them. And believe me, because, see, all this stuff is happening because when they showed the 21st and they showed those Christ figures, that's the assembly of the gods. Now, you might think they're all male, believe it or not, all male gods have a female part to them.
Yes, a consort. Yeah.
They have a consort. You see what I'm saying? So whatever the deal here is, you see what I'm saying? It's whatever that was that came on the 21st, that ain't nothing but stuff inside of you lining up and stuff like that, and now this stuff is going to work even better. You see what I'm saying? Going to work even better. And see, this is stuff that was put in place by this cosmic host. You see what I'm saying? For times like this, you've been suffering all your life. Now you got the elite now is suffering, and you're going to ride through coasting. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You're going to ride through coasting. Some woman called and said that her sister was going to lose the house. She sent her, she ordered the check. She didn't sign it. She sent it to the sister. The sister signed the shit. That motherfucker didn't lose her house. You see, so this stuff is happening.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's it. That's it. Beautiful, beautiful. Well, Brother Bobby, we have 7 minutes left to go. I'm going to let you close us out. We've been closing out, but I'm going to let you just kind of have a couple of words to say.
Okay, I want you to get the movie Hiss. The movie Hiss, Hiss. You can get it at Netflix, and then they got these red boxes at Walmart, and they got them in grocery store where you can go and you can get the actual, you can rent the DVDs. This movie Hiss. You need to get this movie because His came and this Nagar goddess rose up. I put up an altar to her. And she is taking us on a whole nother level. Her name is Nagar Kenya. That's N-A-G-A. Naga is the serpent people, who we are. And Kanya, K-A-N-Y-A. K-A-N-Y-A. Very rare pictures. You can get stuff on the Nagars. My point here is, I'm going to go into this stuff in New York, the history of the Nagars. But on the other hand, what I'm going to do is, you must understand that serpent deity is actually our own energy rising up. So the forces are all with us. You see, all with us. So what we have to do, we're in the zone. You just have to know that it's already returned. See, people are looking for the return, but the return is already here. It's just like they say, you're going to be transformed with a twinkling of an eye, the third eye, when that opens. You see, and we're in that 2012 cycle, not a day, the cycle. Energy don't come on a day. Energy is a cycle, and we're already in it, you see. And all the signs have come. So, like I said, just take heed. But don't wait on nothing. Become it.
Right. That's right.
Because it's already here. It is already here. So become it. Yes.
Beautiful. Well, we're going to get ready to close out. I know you're going to be in New York. I want to give that information out again. So for people, you guys, definitely you want to go check out the show with Brother Bobby Hemmitt. He's going to be in New York. Brother Shabazz is going to be hosting him. And I'm trying to pull up the information here now.
Yeah, Long Island University, downtown Brooklyn on Flatbush in the cab. You can call 347-683-8122. 347-683-8122 for Brother Shabazz. Shabazz, but I think they have the flyer on the internet, and for some of those people, you could even tell you what train stations to take to people who are not driving. You see,
flyer is on the show here too, so the flyer will still be up. It's Saturday, November the 12th. 2011 from 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time to 9 p.m. Brother Bobby Hemmitt, Eye Opener Productions.
Right.
Definitely you want to make sure you get that. Call Brother Bobby, 678-358-1055. Definitely this is the time to know your magic, know who you are, and really get into the activate. Everything is about activation. And, Brother Bobby, it's always an honor to have you to come on the forum. I've learned so much from you. Continue to keep learning from you. Peace and love to you and Linda both. I know you will be back dropping some more science and knowledge with us and letting us know what's going on in the spirit world.
All right, and I enjoyed this gathering.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. We all made this happen.
Yes, a powerful gathering.
That's right, the assembly of the gods. Yes. Well, all right.
All right. Well, peace and love, you guys. That's going to do it for us. Don't forget to download. This is definitely a show to download. Don't forget to reach out to Brother Bobby. Don't forget to like it if you like it. Like it if you love it. Love it. Leave me a message so we can know. And we're going to get ready to close out. And I think we're going to close out with a little bit of Michael Jackson and some Thriller to take us on up out of here.
That's right. All right.
All right. Peace and love, Brother Bobby.
Okay, peace and love. All right.